Tolu Smith here. Make sure y'all subscribe to my boy Downtown Deuce ASAP. Come on, man.
Destination restoration. Destination restoration. Destination restoration. Destination restoration. It's our time. Can you feel the elevation? We on a mission on vacation. Time to create the separation. Championships and motivation. 313 need no explanation. Miss me with all that conversation. We ready for the confrontation. Counting down to our destination. The final destination. Together all the time together. It's us against the world, it don't get no better. We turned it around, that was the beginning. Coming for the crown, you know we winning. Time to put in the work, I'm about to go for step. Taking our prisoners, it's my time. Yeah, I know that it hurts. Saying break out the church, you don't wanna see me in my prime. The mission is to ring, we're caught in everything. In the city, supporting the dream. Mission new I never seen, we deserve to be king. It's all or nothing, no in between. The clock is ticking and I hope you're listening. Don't touch me cause I'm sizzling. Physicality is tipping and mentality is menacing. The dog pound body's crippling. Now the clock is ticking and I hope you're listening. Don't touch me cause I'm sizzling. Physicality is tipping and mentality is menacing. The dog pound body's crippling. Yeah, feel the elevation. We on a mission on vacation. Time to create the separation. Championships and motivation. 313 need no explanation. Miss me with all that conversation. We ready for the confrontation. Counting down to our destination. The final destination.
I can't hear you. I can't hear you. Can you guys hear us? Can you hear me? Okay, I can't hear you. Yeah, you guys. Yeah, we're muted. Oh, you can, so they can hear me, they can't hear you. Weird. It doesn't say you're muted on here. He's just talking like we can hear him. He's going to be right back. Oh, man. Okay. Detroit basketball. I can yell it. We'll let Deuce sing it. That was strange. We had some weird things going on before, too. So I could hear him before we went live. So I don't know what happened there. So I'm glad you guys can hear me. Hopefully he's back soon and he can sing it for you. I'm just good at yelling those words, but man, it feels good to say after come on, as you can hit those high notes. I absolutely cannot. But it's nice to be able to say that after, the bummer loss yesterday. Today was more of a substantial win. I hope you guys are feeling great. I know I am. How do you guys feel? Yeah, he's usually on point. We were just talking to each other about this. So yeah, I'm a low singer. Oh, here we go. Up. No, still can't hear you. What is happening today?
How about now?
Now I can, yes.
There we go.
You guys hear him?
Can y'all hear me now? Let me know.
Yeah. I yelled it, but you got to sing it.
Yeah, as soon as I get some confirmation, then...
Yeah, guys. Okay, Torch Lord says yes. Yes.
We good? Okay.
Right.
My bad, y'all. So, as I was saying, Detroit basketball. Okay. Now, I don't know how far y'all got, but I'm going to just go with the intro, boss. I appreciate you holding it down for us. What up, though, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Downtown Dude Show with the boss with some technical difficulties.
Yeah.
Hope you guys are having a great Thursday night. Boss, what's the word with you? How you feeling?
I feel fantastic. We had a great win that wasn't anxiety inducing. Maybe 1 point. Some people might have felt anxiety, but I felt like we still had it in the bag after that. But I feel really good. It's a great bounce back. Kind of a crazy lineups. We saw 13 guys. We saw a lot of people. So can't be mad about it.
Yeah. That was my fault, y'all. I had the mute button got turned on somehow on my mic. So it was operator error. But I agree with you. We see guys in the chat. We see all the comments coming through. Positive feedback tonight after a Pistons dub, which we'll get to in a second. So let's get to it. So tonight, guys, if you missed this game, the Pistons bounced back from their tough loss last night to the Atlanta Hawks by beating the young and talented New Orleans Pelicans 129-108. And they improved to 53-20 on the regular season. Now, as far as the injury report, got a little laundry list here. We have Isaiah Stewart. He's still out, obviously, with the MCL strain. No update on him yet, but he is progressing. I hope that he's going to be back sometime next week, or maybe a little bit later, but that's the hope for now. Cade is still out, obviously, with the lung issue, but he is also progressing well. Duncan Robinson was also held out for tonight for this game with a hip issue. I don't know what it is with these hips, but these hips are really starting to bother a lot of our guys. Caris LeVert also was out tonight with right knee soreness. That's kind of been a theme with him, I think, this year as far as what they've listed on the injury report with him. So I think it's more so management. I don't think he's playing back-to-back spots at this time right now. So is that okay? So that's more so what it is with that. Marcus Sasser, guys, did return to action tonight, and it was much needed with Caris LeVert not being available and Daniss Jenkins being the only point guard. Okay. On the Pelican side, boss, Trey Murphy, who was played in 64 of a possible 73 games for the Pelicans this year, was held out with a right ankle sprain, apparently. And I'm not going to lie, I was a little annoyed when I found out that he wasn't going to be playing. I really wanted to get another look at Trey Murphy against our Pistons. He played earlier this year, but I wanted to see him again, but we didn't get a chance to. It's no secret. As you guys know, I want him on this team. I've been saying that since the beginning of the season. I think he'd be a perfect fit with this young core, but that conversation will have to wait for now, unfortunately. So the starters for this game were Daniss Jenkins, Kevin Huerter, Ausar Thompson, Tobias Harris, and JD. And Kevin Huerter got his first start. Yeah. And we're going to get to that for sure. And before we go any further, guys, the poll is live for who you guys think should get the belt for tonight. A lot of candidates, as we always say, boss, a lot of candidates, which is a good sign because in Kate's absence, they have to get it done as a team. So that is a good sign as well. So we'll check back on the poll in a few minutes once we get into some initial thoughts. Boss, do you have anything you want to get to? Oh, let's get to the super chat from
we got a couple.
Dom. We got a couple of them?
We got one go higher than Dom. We got a first one. Let's see.
Oh, yeah. I must have missed that when I left back out.
Alan.
Back in.
Yeah.
All right, let's
Here we
get to
go.
the first one. You got it? All right,
Yes.
What up, though,
Alan?
Alan says, Deuce Boss, the Huerter Ivy trade will yield even bigger dividends at playoff time. You can already see it coming. Yeah, we're going to get to Kevin Huerter in full, man. I think they shut Jaden down for the rest of the season over there in Chicago. So
yes,
I think it worked out for both sides at this point in time because it's going to give him an opportunity to start fresh without having a ton of pressure and time constraints on his development, which is kind of what Trajan and JB were saying. They just couldn't wait. They just couldn't wait, unfortunately. So now he's in a place, hopefully, where now he'll get an opportunity. Hopefully they clear some of those guards out. They got 1,000 of them over there, but hopefully he'll get a chance next season, well-rested, all healed up, in good condition to be able to start over and have a clean slate. And then for us, we're seeing what Kevin Huerter can do. And we're going to get to that a lot more. So, Alan, I agree with you for sure. Come playoff time, he could be big for sure.
Yeah, I agree. And I just think with just before not even getting into Huerter, what he's just done so far has just been a consistent other body, which is just something that I couldn't do for us this year because of his injury. And obviously he still wasn't at 100%. So all it does is add if we had kept if we had kept JI, I think it would be kind of a similar scenario to where he's at in Chicago right now, just to heal him up. So now we have, just at the bare minimum, someone that we can play. So
yeah, that can actually play.
Yeah.
He doesn't have a ton of expectation on him, which is a good sign for him. For sure. I think that's a good point. Damadavi coming through, our dog per use, like clockwork. Dom says, no complaints. Every player that touched the floor tonight contributed out there. The Pelicans, the Pelicanats shooting under 50% from the free throw line was wild.
Insane.
Finally, if Kevin Huerter can give us anything close to this in the playoff steps. So you guys are all kind of saying the same thing. Like, y'all want to see playoff red velvet for sure. And I do too. I do too. You know, when he gets more opportunity, we still got 9 more games for him to even more so get familiar and get comfortable. He's already fit in pretty well in a short period of time, about 2 months, without even playing the first handful of games when he first got here. So for him to be progressing this well, this soon, I think that does bode well for the playoffs. So Dom, I 100% agree. The free throw shooting was crazy too, bro.
Yeah.
That was crazy. We're going to get to that too in a minute, but they made it a lot easier for us when we could have made it easier on ourselves. They helped as well as far as being able to keep control of this game and put it away. So Dom, per use, bro, you know I agree with you there, man, for sure. All right, boss. Let's get to some initial thoughts in this game. I'll let you tee it off. What did you see in this game? I'll let your boy.
Oh, man. Well, to me, again, like I said, I said it while you were gone. So it was just a very calm win, nothing crazy. I appreciated it. I think it started off, you could just tell the way it started off was just to me like 5 guys who haven't had a lot of minutes together sort of thing. And that just the tone kind of shifted. And then eventually it just got better and better. And then come halftime, they really, I think Coach Vincent was interviewed after the half about what to work on. He's like, we pride ourselves on stocks, is what we want to see go up. And so I think the defense clamped down definitely in the second half. Felt like it was like a sweet spot of like 8 points to 11 points that they were in. And then when they got close to 4 points at the end of 6 points at the end of the third, and then they scored at the beginning of the fourth to bring it to 4, we just took off and stayed up there. And I mentioned this to you, but especially coming off of a night like last night where a lot of guys had a lot of minutes and it was a high scoring game, it went into overtime, it's a back-to-back. I felt like we were playing more at like 80% effort. Of course, a lot of guys still gave their all in certain moments, but it just felt like nobody was really overexerting themselves. And which again, like I think if, maybe if the Pelicans were making their free throws and it was a closer game throughout, we would have definitely seen more of 100% kind of grittiness, but it was kind of nice that they were able to get this win, not really having to hang it on one person's back or anything, spread out the workload, all that things. Yes, exactly. So yeah, I'm thrilled with the win. Excited for them. Like you said, I was bummed that Trey Murphy didn't play, of course, especially after we ended up winning by 21, because we went close to 8-11. Like Trey Murphy can just shoot threes. So I didn't miss his, 8 to 10 3 makes a game. He can
in hindsight
do that. I didn't miss it, but it would have been nice to see. I did get to see DeAndre Jordan, who's an ex-Nugget, so it was cool to see him play. The Pelicans are kind of funny because me and you have talked about changing up, the starting lineup for guys who perform, and it just felt like the Pelicans starting lineup is also just kind of a nod to like respect, because I feel like their second unit is much better. But it was still, it was a fun game, and the Pelicans definitely have some talented guys, some good vets, some really talented young guys. But it was a fun game, even more fun to win by 21. So
that's a fact. That's a fact for sure. So for me, it was a fun game. Overall, it was a fun game. But I get a little critical sometimes of certain things, what I'm looking for.
Right.
So for me, just from the start of this game, right after last night's slow start, I was just hoping the Pistons would start fast tonight. Set the tone, hit first, like we always talk about, right? They didn't do that early in this game. They were kind of sleepwalking through that first quarter. They were coming off. We get it. It was an overtime loss last night, so back-to-back. But I just still felt the urgency defensively could have been better.
Agree.
They gave the Pelicans, I believe, 33 first quarter points without Trey Murphy. And so it just honestly felt like game script from last night against the Hawks. They were scoring, but they were giving up too many points. Too many easy paint points, not defending the 3-point line, not rotating, just trading buckets, being relegated to their half-court offense, no transition points, just all the stuff we talked about last night. And they even allowed the Pelicans to get all the way up the floor and to the rim in about 4 seconds to end the first quarter. So you can't have it. I mean, to be fair, the Pels, they are talented. They're a talented young basketball team. But without the leading scorer, without Trey Murphy, that was a little disappointing as far as the start. It looked like they took him lightly, if I'm being honest. You see him turn it on, turn it off, turn it on, turn it off. They just didn't come out with that sense of urgency to start the game and almost finish the game. It got a little bit too close for comfort late in the game to end the third quarter. So that was my biggest thing. With Trey out, I just wanted to see them focus on trying to keep Zion out of the paint as much as possible. I mean, it's tough because
Yeah.
he leads the league, and I think in points in the paint. I think JD's right behind him.
And he's
actually.
pretty high up there with and ones too.
Yeah, for sure. He's a good player. He's a really good finisher.
Yeah.
He's only 6'6". He doesn't seem like it, but he's got the Javonte
Big.
Green effect as far as like he just gets up off the floor. He plays bigger than he is. So
Yeah.
for me, keeping him out of the lane as much as possible, the better. I thought they were solid. Were the Pistons doing that? You're not going to keep him completely out of the lane,
Yeah.
but you can make it tough. And I
Yeah.
did think at times the Pistons did make it tough for him. But unlike last night, the Pistons thankfully didn't wait until halftime to wake up this time defensively, like they did last game. They got it going in the second quarter. They picked it up, got stops, turnovers, transition points, all that stuff. And that led to them being able to outscore the Pelicans by 11 in that second quarter. So they gave up 33 in the first, but only 23 in the second. And that kind of set the tone for how they wanted to play in the second half. So I thought they recovered well, but I still want to see them start better.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I just think, again, you don't want to make excuses for back-to-backs, but it was a tough one. And then also just, again, having Huerter thrown in the starting lineup, I think they just needed a little bit of just consistency on both. There was lack of communication on defense, but like you said, once they kind of just cleaned it up and, got back to our style of play, the Pelicans understood what to do to, obviously, if they couldn't get in the paint to Zion, they got it out, and they had a couple guys that can shoot the three. I didn't realize that it's DeJounte Murray's 10th year. I feel like we've been robbed of 10.
Wow. Well, he is 32.
I knew that, but I didn't. Like, I don't know. Like, I feel like we've been robbed a little bit.
5 or 6, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
And he's, also been on some teams that haven't necessarily excelled. So, but he looks young out there still, the way he moves and everything. So,
sure.
I was just, it was cool to see him back. Cool to have Sadiq back in there. Even cool to see Zion. We don't get to see a lot of him. But yeah, I mean, it was a challenge for some guys. And then once they realized that, again, it was a little bit worrisome. I get it, because we've seen our guys kind of play down sometimes to teams that they just assume they're going to beat. And so that's kind of how it felt. But I'm just going to give them the benefit of the doubt this time, because it was off of a back-to-back of an intense game. And there was some last minute kind of like Duncan was probable until the 45 minutes.
Yeah, that was weird.
Like there was just some like kind of last minute switches.
Was he?
Sass was doubtful yesterday. He was probable today.
Yesterday, okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Because everyone else who was probable, and then Tobias was questionable, which I thought for sure with everyone else probable and him questionable that he'd be out, but he ended up playing. So maybe just a little bit of last minute moving around and everything. But definitely the first quarter was kind of the only time I gave them to like pull it together, and luckily they did.
Yeah, for sure. So guys, we will quickly get to some numbers that you guys know I like to always look at to see if the Pistons kind of play to their identity. So let's get to it. So first things first, I was actually kind of surprised by these numbers. I thought the Pistons actually had healthy edge in more areas, but they didn't. But points in the paint, they got outscored 60-70.
Never happened.
Fast break points, 17-16. So they really weren't able to get out the way they wanted to, especially in that first half. Rebounds, they won that battle 45-42. The assist battle, they won by 8, 34-26. So they're still, like you said, just sharing the wealth, moving the basketball. A lot of guys racking up assists, just kind of just filling the void collectively, that Cade kind of left behind, which is important to kind of do it as a unit. And that was good to see. Stocks, they actually lost that battle 15-19. And free throws, 18 of 23 to 11 of 24. As you guys mentioned, as far as the free throw shooting. So that was the biggest difference for me, is that this game could have been a lot closer had they just knocked down more free throws. They left 13 points on the board. So as much as we talk about the importance of our guys individually knocking down free throws, they have their own free throw shooting woes over there in New Orleans. I don't know if that's how is that a norm for them? Like, do you know if they usually struggle like that defensively? Because
I'm not sure, because I mean, for me, especially when you see like 11 of 24, like I guess I just assume guys split more. Like, but a lot of guys, like Sadiq went 0 for 2. I mean, Matkovic went 0 for 2. Fears went 3 of 6 with a couple. I know Zion went 5 of 9, but he had a couple empty trips. Like That's just wild. And like, again, like it could have been a much different story, but then I think we just would have adjusted to it, to be honest. Like, I still think we would have pulled it out. I think that we were able to kind of, as much as you want these guys to like play their best every night with, I think of the last minute lineup changes and just the coming off of a heavy back-to-back, I think that it was almost a blessing because they didn't have to, at certain point.
Yeah.
Didn't have to.
That's why I was a little bit concerned about this coming into this game. Obviously, I thought Trey was going to play, but I thought because they exerted so much energy last night in the overtime loss, and they didn't have to travel, which helps. This is game 4 of their 4-game homestand before they go back out on the road.
Yeah.
But I was just a little bit concerned about the back-to-back because they played hard. A lot of guys played high 30s, and Daniss played, I think, 45 minutes. Last night.
Exactly.
Last night, right?
Yeah.
So I was a little bit concerned about the intensity, and I think that's part of why they came out a little bit lackadaisical because they were tired. They were tired. But once again, this is why you're in first place. You got to next man up. That's the mentality we got to have. So go ahead.
Yeah, if you just want to answer this question from Clara too, why are we losing points in the paint? For me, I mean, a stat that you didn't, or maybe you did mention it, but we were 15 of 28 from 3. We shot almost 54% from 3. So we just hit it there. And then they just do have they have 3-point leaders, but they have guys like Zion and DeAndre got a couple. They just had guys that were able to get into the paint as well. And I just think this missing Stu is another reason but our guys are just feeling it from 3. So I think that's more of the reason tonight, because we still saw JD and B-ball and stuff still attack the rim and everything. So that's kind of where I'm at. Do you have any other thoughts of why we lost?
I mean, I don't feel like they should have been outscored in the paint. If we
Agreed.
Trying to just explain it away, but you're right. We did shoot well from 3, but I don't think we should ever get outscored in the paint. Well, I won't say ever, but we have the personnel. We have one of the best rebounders in the league. That shouldn't happen too often.
That's
so
true.
I'm not saying you are, but I'm not gonna give them a pass as far as with that tonight. They shouldn't, especially because they're not. It's not like it's a huge team anyway. Like Derek Queen didn't even start in this game, which we'll get to. Right? They usually start him, but they try to go a little bigger with DJ. But I think collectively as a team, we should have out rebounded them in this game.
Agreed.
Sure. So
agreed.
But good question, Clara. I'm with you there.
Yes.
So guys, before we get, let's start with the box scores. And before we get into the actual numbers of Daniss Jenkins, which is who we're going to start with, we guys are going to bring in a guest. And coming to the stage, we have our guy, Jeremie Hart, guys. You can't hear me? Can you hear us? You can't hear us?
Everyone's mute today.
Say something.
Can you guys hear us?
I can't hear you. There you go. I think you in here now.
Yeah, we hear you.
Say something. Now you muted. You muted. Oh, now
We'll
he's
be back.
gone.
We'll be back. Coach Hart, everybody. Yay.
But at least you guys now know who's on the way.
Yeah.
Well, let's get to the super chat first from Alan, and then we'll try to get Jeremie back on.
Okay.
So guys, Alan comes back. Alan says, quiet as it's kept, the Deuce Stu injuries have been a huge silver lining as far as the lineup creativity that JB has been forced to put on the floor. I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. We've said that already, that this is a big opportunity for other guys to get a chance to step up and have opportunity. I said it already, but I keep going back to Jokic and his injury and how that affected other guys. Other guys had to step up. Guys like Peyton Watson, who started playing like an all-star once Joker got hurt. So I just think it's an opportunity for us to really focus on that next man up mentality, because all these guys in this team can play. A big part of it really is just the lack of opportunity. Not really getting a chance to play starter minutes, which we're going to get to later for some other guys. But I think that's a big part of it. It's just getting a chance to actually show what they can do. And I think these guys are continuing to do that. And on top of that, Alan, the rest that Cade and Stu will also have. These guys should be no reason when they come back, they shouldn't be 100% ready to go as far as being fully healed and being fully rested for the playoff stretch. And that's going to be important for both of those guys, but really Cade, because he really does shoulder a lot of the load on both sides of the basketball. So, Alan, I agree. And we're still waiting for Jeremie to get set up. So, guys, we're going to just go ahead and start with Daniss Jenkins, and we'll see if we can get him back on. All right, boss. So, let's kick it off with Tank. Tonight, guys, Daniss Jenkins in this game finished with 19 points on 6 for 12 shooting, 5 for 7 from 3 ballers rolling, 2 from the free throw line, 2 boards, 9 assists, and 3 turnovers for a good 3-to-1 turnover ratio, assist turnover ratio, and 1 steal in 33 minutes, boss. So go ahead and take off. What did you see tonight from Tank?
Yeah, again, kind of a little bit of a slow start. That's where he had his turnovers early. So that's all I ask, is that as a player, you clean it up as you go. And he definitely did. He became more impactful as the game went on. I loved, he had a big three at the end of the first. In the third, he had a great find in the paint to Sass. He was, just playing very well, and really good defense too. Loved the steals. Like you said, 3 turnovers, much better than yesterday. But again, the early ones were kind of silly, but then he cleaned it up. 5 of 7 from 3 is fantastic. Like you can't ask for anything better, especially when you have a guy like Duncan out. So absolutely loved it. Again, he led the team in assists, which is exactly what you want from your point guard. Was able to facilitate to other guys and find his own rhythm. I think they said that he's averaging like 23 points a game in his starts for Cade since he's gone out. We're now 10-3. I think now 11-3 with him as a starter. So he's obviously very, very impactful and just always fun to watch. And he really just has great chemistry with everybody on the team. So just fantastic job today of just finding his rhythm in scoring and in facilitating, but you can't ask for anything better.
So I think we are good. Jeremy, can you hear us now, Brody?
Yes, sir.
There we go. Now let's give him a proper introduction again. Coming to the stage. Our guy, man, development coach for our guy, Daniss Jenkins, guys. The one and only Jeremie Hart has returned to chop it up with us post-game and let us know what he saw in this game, and particularly with his guy, Daniss Jenkins, who he has been working with for 7-8 years now, probably longer than that at this point. So you can correct me if I'm wrong on that. But bro, first of all, how you doing, man? What's going on in your world? I see you got the SMU hook up on.
Yeah, I'm doing good, man. Just watching this NCAA game now. But I just finished watching the Pistons, and it was a great game. Glad they came out with a win.
Yeah, man. So now that Daniss is in the starting role, at least for the next 9 games, what have been your thoughts on what you've seen from him so far, based on what you expect? Because I know you have high expectations for him, right? As you should. So based on that, like how, if you could evaluate how he's been so far from your point of view, how would you say he's done so far?
I would say he's done pretty good. Pretty good. I mean, obviously, he hasn't been perfect, but I think one thing that a lot of people don't realize when you're watching him is he's basically a rookie. So, I mean, this is his first real run in the NBA. So, I mean, he's in year 2, but he's basically a rookie. So if we're judging him on a rookie scale, I mean, he's doing really, really well. Obviously he has some areas that he has to clean up, and a lot of that stuff comes with experience and trial and error and going through it. And I don't think a lot of people understand that how hard it is to play one role at a point in time in the season, and then go to another role in that season, and then go to possibly another role in that season, and then come back to the role that you was in a while ago. It's not easy. It's easy to judge it from the stands, but it's a very hard thing to do. And overall, I think he's done great. I would love to see him continue to clean up his turnovers, but that, like I said, that comes with trial and error, and he'll get nothing but better by the time the playoffs start.
Yeah, that's one thing I was saying about last game. Is that obviously the 6 turnovers isn't great. I know he had 5 in the first half, but only 1 in the second half. So he made the adjustment, and the one that he made in the second half, it wasn't a bad read or telegraphing the pass. It was just somebody came across him on a fast break and knocked the ball off him. So he really did. It wasn't like he had 10. He really just cleaned it up in the first half and made the adjustment.
Yeah.
So one thing I want to talk to you about too is the importance that you guys, or how important it is for you guys to just ignore the noise, right? It was a lot of talk around contract time and this and that, and he got the bag now, and he's secure. He's not taking it seriously anymore. Can you just please quiet all the noise? about that we have to deal with on this side, about just how he's laser focused on the work. Like you always say, trust your work and just keep your head down. If you could just elaborate on that a little bit and just highlight us about that, bro.
Yeah, I mean, like we've never paid attention to noise. I mean, at no level, right? Like, man, we've we my bad, I'm sorry, I'm getting messages, but we've overcome and overcame so much, man, to get to this point. Like, I mean, letting people opinions or comments or whatever like that, like if we let that bother us now, then like we
Yeah.
wouldn't be where we are. So,
Mm-hmm.
we stay focused on the task and getting better every day and trying to help his team and me trying to help him and stay focused. So like none of that stuff really matters. Like, I mean, you guys probably see that stuff way more than I do. I tell you
Unfortunately.
that.
Unfortunately. I try not to bring it your way when we talk.
Yeah, like you might see some of that stuff way more than me. I don't pay it no mind, but that's
Yeah.
the game that we play. I mean, as a
Mm-hmm.
player, you judged if you play well, and if you play bad, people go talk about you. As a
Yeah.
coach, if you win, you're a great coach. If you
Right.
lose,
Yeah.
you gonna
You
get
can get
you gonna
fired.
get fired. So
Yep.
I mean, it's just what it is, But
Yeah.
we try to keep the main thing. Get better every day. Keep our heart in the right place. Keep our energy in the right place. And I think that is what he's done the best of this year. He has overcame the mental part of being in the NBA, and obviously you can see it every time that he stays ready. When
Mm-hmm.
his name called, when he doesn't play, he's a great teammate. And he show up to work every day with a sense of humbleness and passion for the game. So
Mhm.
Yeah,
I'm more proud of that than anything else.
for sure. I want to ask you that too, bro. Like, how have you guys been able to navigate that from him? I mean, he's had a journey. You guys have had a journey as far as being overlooked. You trying to tell guys,
Mm-hmm.
this he's a top player, and they're like, all right. And then by the time they realize, it's like, sorry, too late. You had a chance, kind of thing, right? How has it been for
Hmm.
you? It's kind of been in the continuation of that, even this year, where he's had great games, he's had game tires, game winners, and then he gets DMPs.
Mhm.
And then he's sitting, and then he gets thrown back in, and he's playing great again, and then he gets DMPs or he's getting 5, 10 minutes. How proud have you been of him just being able to stay ready? Because that's really one of your hallmarks. It's like we got to stay ready regardless of the situation. How proud have you been of him just being able to put it in the work, staying ready, and then when he gets the opportunity, being able to take advantage of it?
I've been super proud. I mean, these I mean, obviously you can't prepare for these type of moments, but like I always tell people, his journey has prepared him for these type of moments. So I'm super proud that he's done a great job of just keeping his energy right, and keeping his mind right, and staying focused on the things that he need to focus on, and just
Yep.
being ready every time his name called. Like that in itself is something for him to be proud of. It's something I'm proud of. And I think he is only going to continue to make him a better player. And I think, like, man, we're just scratching the surface. My
Facts.
thought, I say this humbly, and but I mean it. Like, man, Daniss doesn't surprise me. Like I've told people for years, what this kid could do and what he's about. And I boldly say it right here in front of y'all that one day he's gonna start as a point guard in the NBA.
Hmm.
Because I told people that he would be doing what he's doing right now. And next he's gonna be a starting point guard in the NBA, and possibly, with the grace of God, he could be an all-star one day. So that's just my
Hmm.
my belief in him. If it comes true, cool. If it doesn't, I mean, we already won.
You in the
Yeah,
league. You in the league,
exactly.
baby. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? That's bittersweet for me because I believe that's the case.
Yeah.
I just don't want him to leave.
Yeah, exactly.
I
You
want to
wanna
keep him
stay.
here as long as possible, bro. I want him to get a chip with this team. You know what I mean? And maybe it's still possible.
Yeah,
Maybe it's still
yeah.
possible next year, this year, whatever. But I do
And,
think
and
that's in
we
his
love
future.
Detroit. we love Detroit, man. We love Detroit. Obviously, I haven't been able to be out there this year because of the season and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I mean, I am on the way. I'll
Yes,
be out
sir.
there soon. So, man, we love Detroit. He loved Detroit. So I want him to seize this moment. I mean, to be on the number one team in the East, almost the number one team in the NBA.
Hmm.
We ain't taking this for granted. We want to be sharp. We want to be, just in tune with what's going on and give it our best shot to try to win a championship because you don't get these moments, so for him to be in year two, getting these type of moments and playing time on a team like this and having a chance to win big, we're not taking this for granted. We're going full throttle with this thing.
Yeah, he seems built for it though, bro. Like, I mean, for
Yeah.
him to already be able to command the respect of some vets in that locker room when
Yeah.
he just got there, for him to have the confidence in himself
Mhm.
to be able to
Mhm.
command that respect, I think that says a lot about him as a person and about him
Yeah.
about his ability in the basketball court. Ain't like because you have guys in the league who are seasoned and they've been around the league for a long time, but they don't really play.
Yeah.
For him to be a guy
Right.
who's playing well, that's how you really have the ear of your teammates, right? When you're on the court with them, in the foxhole with them. So I think it's just incredible for him as somebody who had to take the long route to get here from day one. These guys are gushing about him and how he's really been a leader for this team
Mhm.
already. So I think that says a lot about his mentality. Anything you want to say about that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, oh, sorry.
Yeah, and my bad. I'm sorry.
No,
Just to
you're okay.
piggyback on what you're saying, I always tell him like, be who you say you are. You know what I'm saying? So
Mm.
before he started playing well in games, if you listen to Jalen Duren interview the other day, like he talked
Yep.
about, back in the summer, back in when they was playing pickup, whatever, like he was talking trash and being a leader and all this stuff. Like he been that guy it was way before he was getting playing time. So
Right.
like his personality haven't changed. Like, and that's how you earn respect because he's been the
Mm-hmm.
same person every day. He's not tried to be nobody else. He's not tried to, fit in or anything like that. He been unapologetically himself,
Mhm.
and that's what I love about him the most. So when people see, his flair or his competitiveness or or whatnot in the game, and they think like, oh, what's wrong with him or why he getting into it with this person is like, man, at the end of the game, like he ain't even thinking about that type of stuff.
Yeah.
He just think about hoops in between those lines. Like he has no animosity towards nobody. Like I mean, he's gonna guard you whether you Tyrese Maxey or whether Jeremy Fears. Like he don't care. Like he's gonna compete, and that's what he's been taught to do. So that's what
Yeah.
that's what I love about him.
Yeah. Go ahead, boss.
Yeah, I mean, at first I want to just go back to thanks for reminding us that he is basically a rookie. I think even we have to remind our followers, our fans sometimes that even like we're still the number one team in the East when we lose. Sometimes we need to be not crash out. So to
That's a
just
fact.
remind that Daniss has been able to be a solid backup point guard on the number one team in the East. So it truly is incredible what he is doing. And then also just to comment on, Deuce brought up how people are saying he got paid, doesn't care. I don't know how you can watch him and not think that. It's very obvious. It's obvious in the way he plays, but it's also obvious in what he shows. If a guy beats
Yep.
him, he's getting mad.
Yeah.
If he misses a shot, he's like getting mad. He's mad at
Mm-hmm.
himself. He takes a lot of responsibility on his shoulders. I don't feel like he ever blames anyone else. But you also see him coming in here and holding other people accountable as well. Like Deuce said, he's earned respect so already from guys who have played in the NBA for years. But you've been on before. We've talked about this. We know this already about him. But just to reiterate that, I don't think you can watch him play and say that he doesn't care, or that he doesn't want it, or that he doesn't want more.
Yep.
And then just I think today, I also like just to go into the fact what you just said about he always comes back to himself. Today he got a foul call on him. He was pressuring, I don't know if it was DeJounte Murray or he was pressuring someone,
Mm-hmm.
and he got a foul call, or maybe it was Fears. I think it was Fears. But
It was fierce.
yeah, he got the foul call while he's bringing up the ball, and then they inbound the ball, and he's just as aggressive. Doesn't
Yep.
back off him. He's like, well, I'm still gonna make you fight me up the court. And he just didn't back down because he's like, well, no, this is how I'm gonna defend. I'm not just gonna let you have it easy because you got that whistle, which sometimes you see some guys lay off. But no, he just goes back to playing his game, and it definitely works out. And again, I'm just very impressed with as a team that has a guy like Cade, who is already great at facilitating and creating his own offense, it feels like DJ is the perfect guy to come in and emulate that and keep that going, because he does the exact same thing. He makes sure everybody eats, but he also gets his own basket. So I just have to just reiterate that it's just so fun to watch him. He is my mom's favorite player. Anytime we're talking about him, she just texts me, she goes facts. So
That's awesome.
she goes facts. So she does genuinely love him. So, and he's obviously one of mine, but just had to say that, just to go into all the points that you said, just what I've also noticed, there's just spot on, obviously, obviously spot on, but
Yeah.
What?
Devin
Well,
says, "Go DJ." That's my DJ. Go ahead, Coach.
Hey, well, I say this, man. The way some Piston fans are, or supposedly Pistons fans are, I will say this. Shoot, I'm glad he's not playing on the teams that was the last few years, because man, when we lose a game and we the number one team, man, everybody ready to
Bro.
jump ship. So I can only imagine what it was like the last couple of years
But
when they wasn't winning.
You know what's crazy about that? That's the thing. I keep telling fans, like, you got to get out of your own way.
yeah,
Because when we won 14 games 2 years ago, fans kind of just clocked out. They kind of just checked out.
yeah,
So the fact
Right.
that even though a lot of fans don't have a realistic view of the big picture of wins and losses in the
Yeah.
long game, it at least shows me they
Mhm.
care now.
Yeah.
It shows me
Right,
they care now.
right.
So now it's like, now that we have your attention, now you got to start focusing on the right things and keep things in perspective.
Yeah.
Because you're right. If it was how it is now, it'd be riots. It'd be
Mhm.
riots. It would have been riots back then. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Yeah.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
And
Go ahead,
I
Bob.
also just, another compliment is just yesterday, Dyson Daniels was assigned to Jenkins. Like,
That's a
can't
good
ask for,
point. Good
you
defender.
can't win. That means that you're a threat. Like, so,
Yep.
and I just love that he's, getting, I feel like he's pulling up more in the mid range. He's still trying to get to the
Mhm.
basket. He's just not deterred. Like, it was kind of a slow start as a team today, but he had a couple, just wasn't able to get over the defenders at the basket today, a couple early mistakes. But for me, it's just the adjustments that all the players, I just want you to make the adjustment as the game goes on, but you don't even have to tell him. Like, he knows,
Yeah.
he knows when to, correct his mistakes. And like you said, I think he's going to be beyond ready come playoff time. And again, just reiterating that he is basically a rookie in this league. And we've got teams like the Knicks who have brought in a backup point guard in Alvarado, and he's not even getting minutes anymore because he's not working. While we've been able to get, a talent like Jenkins, who has been just the perfect backup for Cade and for this team scheme.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's a great point.
and to piggyback off your point, obviously K going down, like nobody wants to see that, right? Like K's one of my favorite players. I would love to see him on the court,
Yeah.
but it opened up the opportunity for Tink to play the rest of the season, and like me personally, I was just thinking like, oh man, he get to play 10, 12 games down the stretch and get some rhythm going into the playoffs. Oh man, I'm super excited. I can't wait. I can't wait
Yeah.
because like he's gonna be ready to go. He's gonna be ready to go regardless. But to be in rhythm like this and down the stretch and get into the playoffs and have those type of reps, because that's the biggest thing with him. He just need reps.
Yeah.
And
Exactly.
continue to get those reps. But he's a student of the game, so he's never gonna get too high. He's never gonna get too low. He had 30 against the Lakers. He was trying to figure out how he can get better the next game. So like, man, that's just how we roll. And obviously I'll be out there for the playoffs. So we'll be locked and loaded and focus on from game to game in the playoffs, trying to get to the next series.
Yeah, man. I'm looking forward to it, bro. We ain't gonna keep you too long. I'm looking forward to you coming out here for sure. The playoffs, we gonna have to link up and talk about these games even more. But that's gonna be a time, bro. I think Boss gonna try to get out here too for a game. So you're gonna have to get that done for sure.
Yeah.
I got one question for you before you go. Who do you have? Obviously, I was bummed to see SMU go out. I was like, oh, I know. I don't watch college. I haven't gotten able to get into it. It's almost overwhelming when you're just trying to pick a school and start. So I haven't gotten much into it. But who's your winner for your bracket?
Well, obviously I didn't. Well, not obviously, but I didn't have a bracket
Right.
because we was in it, and I
Right.
was so locked in on trying to win that game.
Yeah. Fine.
And once we lost that game, I really didn't watch basketball for a couple days because
Yeah.
I'm, I'm,
Yeah.
I'm, I'm, I'm just as much as a competitor as Tink.
Yeah.
I hate
Yeah.
losing,
Yep.
so
He used to hoop
I
too,
was a
y'all.
little down.
Mhm.
Yeah, so I was a little down in the dumps, man. I'm not gonna lie to you. I didn't want to watch no basketball. I don't want to see nobody play
Fair
basketball.
enough.
Uh, but
You couldn't pull
if
yourself
I
away though,
had
could
to,
you?
I couldn't pull myself away.
Yeah.
If I had to pick a team, I'm gonna go with Michigan.
All right. There we go.
Ooh, you know that make us happy.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
just earned a ton more fan.
Yeah.
I think the Wolverines gonna win it, man. Them dudes are good, man. Them dudes
Bro,
are good.
Yakfo, bro.
It's hard seeing somebody beat those guys, man. Yaxel and Elliott running the show
Yeah,
and the big
yeah.
fella in the middle, man.
Mhm.
They're good, man. They're good.
Yeah.
I'd be shocked if
Completely
they
agree.
don't win it.
Yeah.
I think so too. I think so
Yeah.
too, bro. So we appreciate you as always, man. Taking a few minutes out of your day to come chill with us, bro. So, guys, if you are not already following Coach Hart, make sure you guys are doing that. You can find him on X. You can find him on IG at Coach Hart 32. So make sure y'all go over there, give him a follow, stay tapped in with what he's doing with SMU and with what he's doing with Daniss and some other clients, other players that he's working with as well. He's worked with guys like Ryan Rollins, who's balling over there in Milwaukee. So stay tapped in with Coach, man. It's a good follow. So, bro, we appreciate you, man.
Yes. Thank
Looking
you.
forward to having you back on soon and looking forward to tapping in with you when you come out here, bro, for the playoffs.
No doubt, no doubt. I'll be in OKC on Monday for that game, so I'll make that
Ooh.
drive up there and watch them beat up on the Thunder. So we're gonna get that dub
Hey,
on
bro.
Monday.
Hey, man. Speak that into existence, man. Because where
Mhm.
them boys playing right now, yeah. If we could be the one to knock them off to end that streak, that'll be nice. So,
Yeah.
well, they just lost
Yeah,
to Boston, I think, right?
Yeah. They
these
lost
next two
yesterday.
games. These next two games are tough. I mean, you go
Yeah,
to Minnesota and go to OKC, but
yeah,
they both winnable games. I mean, the Pistons are
Mhm.
a really good team, so
yeah.
Yeah.
we'll see. I'm excited to watch both of them.
Yeah.
I think Ant-Man and Jaden McDaniels, boss was saying might be out for the Wolves game, right?
I just saw that
Possibly.
Jaden McDaniels went out with injury yesterday. I haven't been
Okay.
updated, but again, when I watch Mini, it's in the Nuggets in Denver, and that's when they play their best. So I don't know what to
That's a
expect from
fact.
Minnesota.
That's a
Yeah,
fact.
much as I would not like to see Ant Edwards play against the Pistons, but the competitor in me,
I
and
know.
I know the competitor in him, he would love to play against Ant Edwards. So
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
excited for that one.
that's
I
true.
want to get my
Mhm.
popcorn for that one because Ant
Yeah.
Edwards is a competitor too, and obviously
They're
he's a
talkers.
superstar.
They're gonna be
Ooh, they
talking.
need to have them boys mic'd up for that game because I need
They're
to
gonna
hear
have.
that. I need to
They're
hear
gonna
that
give each other
conversation, bro.
new ideas of
Probably
what to
gonna have to
say.
clip all of it, just censor
Yeah.
all of it out.
Well, we know what mostly, guys like NLs, we know what mostly they gonna say.
Yeah.
They see Danish, they see Tink, and they gonna say, "Oh, who is this? Who is this
Yeah.
guy?" All that type of stuff, and
Well, with
that stuff
Ant,
is
I
nothing.
don't know.
It's gonna do nothing but rile him up.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, for sure. And who knows? He might get under his skin the way he got under Maxi's skin earlier this season. You know
I
what I
mean, he
mean?
just went
So,
head to
Yeah,
head with Luca and got one less field goal, basically. So,
facts.
yeah,
And way better
yeah,
efficiency.
but
Lucas shot
way
11 for
better.
29. So
but Luca don't talk to nobody but the refs.
No,
that's true for the most part. No,
that's
you're right.
true.
You're
Very
right.
true.
Yeah. Yeah, I like it the other
he
way.
just talked to he just talked to the referees. So
Mhm.
Yeah.
And
you
Goga.
know, so
Right.
yeah,
All right, bro.
and him.
I'm gonna let you go, bro. I'm gonna let you get out of here, man. Get back to watching these games, man. But thanks again for coming on, bro. I'll tap in with you
No,
soon. And
no problem. No problem. Much love to you guys. I appreciate y'all.
Thanks,
much love,
Coach
buddy. Talk to
Hart.
you soon.
All right, peace.
All right, guys. Coach Hart in the building again, man. I love that dude, man. Good dude, great coach, great development coach, man. He's really helped Daniss come a long way, and they got much more to go, boss. Much more to go. So, all right, guys.
Absolutely.
I don't have anything really additional on Tink other than the fact that so there's one thing I want to say. Two things.
Mhm.
So the first thing is that you guys know I'm really big on ball security, and I was talking to Coach about this yesterday. Last game I think he had 19 and 10 assists with 6 turnovers, and I didn't think he played great. He played good, but not great by his standards. Tonight it was similar, 19 and 9 instead of 19 and
Mhm.
10, but I thought he played great because he
Yes.
cut those turnovers in half from
Yep.
6 to 3. So the ball
Mhm.
security, like Coach was saying, he's learning on the fly. He's learning these guys' tendencies individually. He's learning what he can get away with as far as getting shots off. That's why every now and then you see him get a shot block at the rim. And he's just
Mhm.
seeing different schemes. He's just learning the game on the fly. So he's only going to get better. So for him to
Yep.
do what he's doing already, yeah, he's going to be just fine. Just fine. So and we
Agreed.
appreciate you guys showing love to Coach
Yeah.
Hart as well, man. Y'all know he's friend of the show. He's been somebody we've been rocking with for a while now. So we
Yeah.
appreciate y'all always rolling out
He's
that
got
red
a
carpet for him and showing him some love. So
he's got a lot of guys, in the NBA. We didn't get to see
Yep.
him tonight either, but Bryce McGowan's on the Pelicans, worked
Right.
with Coach Hart
Right.
too.
Yep.
Obviously Ryan Rollins, who's up there, doing
There's a
work
few other guys too. that
with
he's
the
working
Bucks.
with.
And honestly, Ryan Rollins kind of popping off for the Bucks right now at the right time with their little bit of, their big downfall, honestly. I can't even say a little bit because they're
Yeah.
not even going to make the play in, but that's the one I would grow my team around, to be honest. So
I ain't
yeah.
mad at that. I ain't mad at
Yep.
that at all. All right, guys. You got
is it
anything else,
okay?
boss?
I'm good. Can you check the poll and I'll be right back?
Yeah, do your thing. Do
Thank
your
you.
thing. All right, y'all. Let's check this poll and see who you guys thought should have. Let me see. Should have been the player of this game, or who should have got the belt. All right. So you guys have Kevin Huerter at 67%, and I am not surprised by that at all. Jalen Duren is coming in second with 26%. Then we have Ausar Thompson with 5%, and Daniss Jenkins with 2%. And this was a very encouraging game for me, guys, watching some of the guys who are candidates for this. We're going to get to all these guys individually, but yeah, Kevin Huerter was great in this game. JD was JD. He's been playing great. I think his numbers are actually better since the All-Star break. He's really been taking his game to another level. So for me, that just signals even more so that he's not going to be a guy who has a letdown once he gets his contract or anything like that. That's just silly talk to me. You gotta go based off what these guys are showing you. So with him being 22, he's only gonna get better. But we'll get to all these guys individually, boss. But yeah, Kevin Huerter ran away with the poll tonight. He ran away with the poll
Okay.
tonight,
Yes. Makes sense.
as we suspected. So
Yes.
speaking of Kevin Huerter, boss, let's go ahead and go to him, guys.
Let's do
Tonight
it.
in this game, Kevin Huerter finished with 22 points. That's at least a season high, a career high with the Pistons at least.
Mhm.
Going 9 for 14 from the field, 4 7 from 3, 3 boards, 2 assists, 3 turnovers, 1 steal in 34 minutes. So, boss, take off on what you saw from what is that, Velvet?
Well, I have to congratulate him on getting more than 2 threes in a Pistons game. He got 4. He hit his first 2. They were beautiful. Then he missed 2. And then he got the next, I think he got 1 and then either missed 1 and then got the next one. Right? Yeah. But anyways, he broke that hurdle. So very excited for him on that. He finished the first half 4 of 5 from field goal, 2 of 2 from 3. His first shot attempt was a 3 off that JD behind the back pass. Like it was beautiful. He had a 3 in the second after the challenge was successful. The one that they gave to B-Ball Paul, and it's a knockaway, not a foul. Hit a 3 right away. Got his third 3 in the third, 4th 3 in the fourth. Wow, he just hit 1 3 in every quarter to get the 4 threes. Love it.
Okay.
And the 3 in the fourth was to bring the lead back up to 7 to start the fourth. And that was after they just gotten the ball, got a quick 2, got down to 4. He got it right back up and then just really helped us, our momentum shift that way. Because then Wu got a 3 to get up to 10. We just went off from there. He had that shot clock buzzer beater that was taken away barely. Barely. And it was right.
Shot too.
It was right. But some of these, like, I want some things to not be revealable, like the NFL. Like, the NFL just sometimes is like, this isn't revealable. Sorry. Sometimes shot clock beats like those. I'm like, just don't review it. Don't review it frame by frame. Come on.
But you'll want them to if it was
of course
Zion not put it up and got, what I mean?
Like like Kelser said, it was but that's like, then Cade's hook shot would have went in, but
right, exactly.
But like Kelser said, he said in my day that would have been a basket because they didn't review nothing. So but I think especially after that shot, my word for Kevin Huerter is just composure. Like he just always looks composed and he's always in the right spot. He never gets, I think, overwhelmed. Even when if he's beaten off the dribble on defense, which is kind of rare, he just finds another guy to guard. He puts himself in another position to, help the play out, things like that. So just did fantastic. And definitely his best game as a Piston. And just exactly what we needed tonight with Duncan gone. 4 of 7 is amazing, but then, being down some other, and LeVert, both of them. I'm surprised he only ended with 2 assists because it felt like he was really moving the ball as well.
Hockey assists.
Absolutely. Absolutely. To get a steal, 2 was big. Just, great defense on a young team. No fouls. Love to see that. I just always will congratulate people on that too, because he was playing aggressive defense. He did have 3 turnovers, which is,
it's
not great, but he made up for it in literally every other way.
Yep.
Harris has had turnover games like that and hasn't been able to produce a 20+ point game for us yet this season. So not to compare the two, but I mean, Huerter, again, just to be able to step up, I think pretty much last minute. We don't know when he found out he was going to be a starter tonight. So to be able to do that was just huge. And he just really held it down so well. And I loved watching him. And like someone said earlier about how it's kind of paying off the dividends of the Ivy trade, being more than just a body to play, but to go out there and put on, a 22-point starting performance for us is really big. So I want to just thank him for that. And he just, like I said, composure, and just, I think he's just fitting in with this group so well that at this point, we have 9 more games left in the season. So he's still making, I think it's still kind of a little bit of a him, Sass, LeVert race. It's in terms of who comes off the bench first, but he's definitely won my vote. So.
Oh, for sure. For sure. I'm going to start with this. I think Greg Kelser just might be watching our show. Because you guys know when I talk, about Kevin Huerter, I always say, don't hurt him, Huerter, right?
Yeah.
Tonight I heard Greg say, Kevin, don't hurt him. So I'm like, he might be paying attention. Who knows?
If you are, hi, Greg.
Right. Shout out to Greg Kelser, man. One of the best to do it, for sure. But he was great. Tonight, when I was watching him, I saw Klay Thompson light. Somebody who, when he's shooting the ball, obviously there's only one Klay Thompson as far as shooting the ball.
Right. Oh, yeah.
But just the confidence he was shooting it from, just being a threat out there, being able to make plays. I liked what I saw. He's really good off ball. He's really good off the basketball. He was able to come off pin downs, make plays for other guys, make plays for himself. He's really good with that reverse finish. He's really good with that. And he's a lot like Javonte Green in the sense that he can fit with any unit.
Agreed.
He's been solid with the reserves. He was great tonight as a starter. He's a connector. He just knows how to play team basketball. And I think that's a great sign for him. And his confidence offensively is really building. I think it just came with more opportunity, more minutes, knowing he was going to play more. All those things were important. But for me, the defense was just as important. You talked about the no fouls. He plays, but it's not like he still plays aggressive defensively. It's not like he's trying to avoid foul. Like, he knows how to toe the line between being physical but not drawing fouls. He's very crafty in that way. He can move his feet very well. And he's a smart defender. He just knows how to play. He plays angles well. He doesn't get driving lanes up. He's just really good defensively. And this may be a little bit premature, but I'm going to say it. If he's able to improve the 3 ball, I would consider, not saying I would do it today, but I would consider giving him a look possibly as a starting 2.
Okay.
I would consider that because first and foremost, he's a better defender than Duncan Robinson, right? Which fits more who the Pistons are. Duncan has been for us a very reliable 3-point shooter and at times creator, for being honest. But we've seen him kind of get targeted and hunted out on defense at times. So when it comes to Kevin Huerter, you're not really looking to hunt him out nearly as much, if at all. You're not really looking to do that because he's an above average defender. We just talked about how he can guard. So that allows the Pistons more so to be able to play defense straight up and not have to, send doubles or rely on the defensive rotations out of the double. So, and then offensively, he gives the Pistons more optionality because he's a better playmaker. He's a better ball handler. I think he's just more multi-dimensional, and that makes the Pistons harder to guard. It gives them more unpredictability. And to me, just gives the Pistons just more two-way ability. Ability. That's one thing we've talked about. I've talked about. I want as many two-way players for this team, on this team, in the starting lineup as possible. So I know it's only been 2 months, and I'm not even saying I would do it, but this is just what I was thinking as I'm watching him play. Now, how he's looking. It's just one game, but I'm looking we talked about how it's only been a few months, but we already see with the bench how he's
Yeah.
already looking good and being, an addition to the bench unit. So him in his first start doing this, and it's a small sample size, right? The
Yeah.
shooting needs to continue. He needs to continue to be a threat, but he does everything else very well. And I think he does more things well for the Pistons and how we want to play than I think Duncan Robinson. And of course, Duncan Robinson, he's a vet. He's been in the finals multiple times. That experience is invaluable. But just on the court and how it looks on the court, I would consider if he can keep the 3-ball consistent in the 30s, we talked about, mid to high 30s, because he shot 40%. You told me that at one point.
Yeah.
If he can get to 35, 36, 37, then I'm looking to I'm taking a serious look at giving Kevin Huerter an opportunity as a starting two. And that's not taking nothing away from Dunk.
No.
It's just about what I see and how it looks.
Yeah, I think at this point it's like you said, it's just more of your opinion, because it's like it's probably not going to happen because it's late in the season.
Because
it's just about yeah, exactly. But just going off, like thinking about it, like if say Duncan came back and had to be on a minutes restriction and those minutes just benefited more off the bench, then Huerter could fit right in and help set that defensive tone early with the shooting. And then you got Duncan in with guys like Ron and Wu and Stu, who are great defenders. So it's a little bit less of obviously we have Ausar, and Kate is a great two-way defender and stuff, but like Tobias is a little up and down depending. It's more of a matchup thing for him. So I think they could easily both rotate and switch. There's positives and negatives to both. But I don't disagree with you at all. And it kind of just reminds me of THJ and Beasley last year, because Beasley was our more reliable 3-point shooter, but THJ was still good on offense and had a better defensive presence than Malik. That that's just kind of what you can compare to if those guys did switch. And yeah, like you said, it's just a scenario that you could see happening, and that you would want happening.
Maybe even next year. Like, who knows? Like,
exactly.
you know what I'm saying? Like,
well,
I just like what I see with him, with these guys.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
And that's exactly it. Like I still think that he was brought here for his contract, but we don't know the moves that are going around next year.
Right.
So if we just don't know yet. We don't know what will happen. He could easily be re-signed to us at a lower, at a decent price. If Duncan doesn't end up staying, who knows? Yeah. But Duncan, that was even something that when Ivy was on the team and we were like, well, once Ivy's healthy, he can come in for Duncan. Like it was never a Duncan thing. It was just more of like what would benefit this team the most. So yeah, exactly. I do agree with that. But I again, with this what I saw tonight, he just really stepped it up in all areas, and I think he can do even more. Yeah, he just looked really good out there. And I also, guys, I love that our home crowd gave him a huge ovation when he checked out of the game.
They know what they're looking at.
It goes, yeah. Just saw it, it didn't go unnoticed. I think, especially when he hit, his 4th-3. He had, I thought he had more than one steal. He was definitely disruptive, and
for sure,
we didn't talk about it. We talked about his points made and everything, but how he gets into the paint and the baskets scored are also very impressive. So he's 9 of 14. 3 of those misses were threes. So he was 9 of 11. I'm sorry, take away the threes as well. So 5 of 11 from 5 of 11 inside. Yeah, that's awesome. So and it really goes reverse. He had that one nice where he kind of was patient with the ball. When there were a bunch of New Orleans Pelicans, he didn't have anywhere to go, but he was just patient. So he just waited and went up and had a nice touch, and it went in. So, and he's right there to help grab the ball if he misses. He is someone that definitely kind of follows his shot and everything, which I do appreciate, but still gets back on defense. So really fun game from him. And just, it's kind of crazy that his best game for us has come in a starting role. I think that this does, and I think Kelster said it too, that it's just so beneficial for the Pistons to get some of these lineups and roles, like you guys said in the chat, like Coach Hart said as well, some more opportunity for these guys. And this, even though it feels like he's already been getting better and has looked more comfortable, like hopefully this has just unlocked even more confidence in him, because it's certainly unlocked even more confidence that I have in him watching him as a fan. So hopefully for himself, this was a big game.
Yeah, I would like, so for me, if it's me, I'm like, Hey Duncan, go ahead and let that hip go ahead and heal up a little bit, bro. We're gonna give you a few more games to heal up. I just want to see more. I want to see how it looks. I said it's a small sample size. I just want to
But
see how
this
it
might
looks.
be what it is. Like we talked about it today. Like Sass kind of randomly had a hip thing, and like I'm not saying that they're messing with the system. I think that these guys, it's late in the season, they're feeling things. But this is how this is how teams rest people. This is how they rest people towards the end of the season, especially like OKC. I mean, the Spurs are close to them, but the next people like 11 behind. But if those two teams like wanted to rest guys, just full on be like, no, this is just rest. They could afford it and still be in the same position at the end of the season. While we're, we got to be a little bit more creative with how we rest guys and how they're feeling. So it definitely could be like Sasser just out 3 games and came back today. And then after being doubtful yesterday was just probable today, which I do believe, but just like with then Levert and Dunk going out kind of last minute, just more like maybe they are feeling something. And coach like, you know what, just rest up anyways, because we're gonna need it going in.
And even if he doesn't, I just think this would be great for his confidence going into the playoffs, which for a lot of these guys, Cade being out, Stu being out, be great for their confidence. So we'll see what happens. But I was very encouraged, boss. I think we can all agree that in hindsight, I don't think anybody would have been this excited about how this trade has played out for us to this point, especially me, because I am a huge Jaden Ivey fan, even now that he's hurt and things like that. But I can't really say I'm upset with. I didn't think it was going to be this. It was going to look this good for us this soon.
Yeah,
as far as with how Kevin Huerter has been playing. So, and I know you probably didn't either because you watched him.
I definitely didn't.
I mean, we were going to get Sacktown Huerter back, and we might be getting him. He might be. I mean, we might be getting that guy back. But I'm really happy with what I've seen. Go ahead.
Yeah, certain situations and scenarios bring out other people. But on our live with Eric after the trade, we all talked about how we just thought that Ivy, we should have gotten more for him. And Kevin is just at least showing us that we didn't get nothing, no matter if you still think that a guy like Ivy with his caliber and his potential and what he was doing for us before the injury, whether you think we could have gotten more for that or not, it's still really great to just, have a guy have it pay off in a good way. After that was kind of my biggest, I think, I definitely went hard on Kevin, I'm not denying that, but it was my biggest thing of like the way Ivy was our second best player on our team last year besides Cade. So I thought that there was better, but it also for people who are critical of Trajan or GMs in Detroit in general, it's reaffirmed just some more things about like that Trajan does have an eye for certain players and how they fit with the culture and how they fit with the scheme. He knew that Kevin, I think he knew that Kevin could work well into this team quickly.
Yeah.
Before any of us did. So
I agree because I didn't see it. So shout out to him. If he had to make that move for the reasons that we talked about as far as timing and things like that, he seems to have landed on his feet, at least for now with the trade. So that's why he's the GM, I guess, and we're not, right, boss?
Exactly.
So we'll leave it there, guys.
Only his second year with us too, and he's done, I think, second year, right?
Oh yeah, an amazing job.
Yeah,
amazing job.
I mean,
this is year 2.
Yeah, incredible. I mean, all we've been doing is going up. So
Trajan ain't Brad. He's actually good. Come on, man. All right, guys. Let's get to let's keep it pushing, man. Let's go now, guys, to Ausar Tasmanian, backbone of the defense, Thompson in this game, guys. Tonight, Ausar Thompson finished with 11 points on a perfect 4 of 4 from the field, 3 of 4 from the free throw line, which I will take. 4 boards, 1 turnover, 3 steals, and 2 blocks for 5 more stocks in 29 minutes for Ausar Thompson. It's good to see him get more minutes now lately, too. But what do you see, boss, from Ausar Thompson tonight?
I think the biggest surprise to me about this is just that he had no assists because he's been getting like 3 to 4. Yeah, I had no assists.
You're right. Wow.
So that I know,
Surprising.
right? So that's just, but like obviously it wasn't missed or detrimental or anything like that. Incredible again. Like we asked him to go out there and do. I think even Kelser mentioned this because he said that he was listening to a radio after a game, which does mean that he listens to local things. But that they had talked about like Ausar's offensive performance, that this is how it needs to be. But someone called in and was like, no, what we needed from him was the defense that he gave us tonight, and anything else is a bonus. That's still kind of how it feels. I'm still, I
Gotcha.
mean, for me, it's just more like I want to see him in double-digit points, and he got that today on perfect shooting. Like, that's impressive. Coming off of, again, one of his better offensive games for us, to also get 5 stocks and 4-4 from the field. And one of them was just he had a nice cut and just pulled up for a jump shot in the paint.
Exactly.
Got it right down. Like you said, the free throws, I know that there's video evidence of me being like, if Ausar, like if he's going to, like, because he was getting fouled and he wouldn't be able to finish his free throws. Like, he was probably our worst free throw shooter. And lately he's been really on it. It's really picking up that Vincent work is working in the bigger moments. I really liked, my favorite play of his tonight was in the second when he stripped DeJounte Murray and just dunked it.
Backcourt steal. Another one.
Exactly. And those, like Blaha said, are just becoming all too familiar. So really fun from Ausar. I'm fine with 11 points, especially off of 4 from 4 and with 5 stocks. That's kind of where I want to see him. I wanted to see him get above 10 points because that just shows that he has presence in the paint on both ends. So great game from Ausar. And I think he's on our poll because, again, there were a lot of candidates, but for me, I wanted him on the poll for the 5 stocks and the 4-for-4 field goals.
Yeah, it was tough.
Yeah.
It was tough. And that's a great problem to have when so many guys are playing well. You don't know who to put on the poll. Yeah. The first thing you talked about, the free throw shooting and how he's knocking them down. I'm noticing too that he is attacking the rim more, which oftentimes will result in you going to the free throw line.
Yep.
I didn't always see that from him.
True.
I didn't always see him looking to attack the basket to draw a foul because he's just more athletic and than his defender. But he's doing that more now, and that just tells me
more decisively. I think is
more decisively, and that just tells me that he is getting a little bit more comfortable and confident in his free throws, right? So it's not always going to be linear as far as his progression. It's going to be peaks and valleys in his way to getting there. It's going to have bad shooting games, and he's going to have some good. And it's going to be that kind of thing. But it looks like he kind of has reached a checkpoint as far as his confidence and progression, as far as just having confidence to go to the free throw line, because he's been shooting pretty well from the line lately. Much better. I think, like, I'm used to him in the low 60s, high 50s, and it's just like one thing Eric Vincent always says is you got to be at least 70% if you're a wing, at least, right? So tonight, 75%. So that's a great sign for me when it comes to his confidence. And we know that I read a stat tonight that he said that, I think Greg said, he scores 78% of his points this year in the paint. But now it's more than it's not just dunking and finishing in transition. Now he's getting to that midi game, like you talked about. He's looking much more comfortable in that midi game. I always say I want to see him kind of be a Jaden McDaniels type of guy offensively, as far as just getting to the midi and working your way out from there. Because I think this is year 5 or 6 for Jaden. I think he came with Stu. And he didn't always have a 3-ball. He didn't have a midi when he first came into the league. Consistently. He's a great slasher and finisher. But year over year, he just continued to build and get better. That's kind of the trajectory I see for Ausar Thompson offensively. Defensively, he's on another level. But
agreed.
Offensively, I like the progression that he's trying to get to.
Yeah, and like I mentioned last time too, is that he's finding the shot that works best for him. Like, I think him and he was talking about how they were. I think I said Vincent earlier. I meant Vincent. Sorry, but I think that they were talking about he's working more of an arch on his shot. We were seeing that more. It wasn't pretty, and now he's getting up with elevation, and he can do more of his line drive shot. It's whatever's comfortable. Like, there's plenty of guys in this league whose form is bad, or the way they shoot isn't necessarily how you want it. It's not pretty, or it's not the norm. But if it goes in, it goes in. So I think that's exactly what happened today too. Not saying it's a line drive, but he's definitely using his athleticism to elevate over these guys to get the shot that he wants, instead of trying to get an arch. And that's, again, something that he can develop over time. And work on in the off season. But for now, it's just shoot where you're comfortable with. And like you said, he was driving. I feel like, well, he is driving the basket more, like you said. I feel like last time, or the past few games, or not past few games, but games earlier this season, he would get it in the paint, and then again, it'd be a little bit indecisive. Should I give it up? He'd turn around and be like, I don't know what to do. I don't want to put the ball down. Or he would drive, and it would be too light at the rim, or he would get blocked, or
afraid to make mistakes.
Shot. So now he's just immediately, like, he's becoming more decisive. And again, we, like you said last night, since his injury, that was his best game. And now we're seeing consistency again because he was playing consistently great basketball. Then he got hurt and then it was a little bit up and down. And now it's starting to be more consistent. And it's definitely, again, with these games coming up, OKC, Minnesota, this is when, I mean, if Ausar is peaking now, not only for those games, but for the playoffs, this is when I want to see him play his best basketball. How many fouls did he have? He only had 1 foul. That's crazy.
That's
also
insane.
crazy. Yeah.
Guarding the best player most nights. He's ridiculous, bro. Scooby Snack says, of course Ausar could have taken the ball away. He had to take it away from Amin his whole life. hey, that's a great point, right? That's a very good point. The two most athletic guys in the league. So yeah, it's definitely an advantage for sure. Lastly, on him, you kind of touched on it a little bit, but his defensive versatility is insane.
Yeah.
Like that's really important. That's why I call him the backbone of the defense, because he can just do so many things. He's the foundation. He spent time guarding DeJounte Murray tonight. He spent time guarding Saddiq Bey tonight. He spent time guarding even Zion Williamson tonight. Like his ability to guard multiple spots, all three of those guys, that means you can switch him defensively on anybody. And he was doing that. You would see whenever there'd be a switch, he'd go from Zion, comes to the screen for DeJounte. Now he's switching on to Zion. And then he comes to Saddiq Bey, same thing. Now he's switching on whoever has the ball, he was taking. He was guarding. It didn't matter. And that helps so much because you don't have to worry about guys getting hunted out or or having to rotate, like just being able to play straight up. He allows you to do that because he can guard so many different players, so many different positions. There's not a lot of guys in the league who can do that the way he does at that level. It may not be one player in the league who can guard so many different players in different positions at the level that he can do it.
Agreed.
There isn't a better fit for our defense than Ausar Thompson.
Agreed. He's kind of a guy that, like, if we, for some reason, like, we're down centers, like if, B-ball Paul did foul out tonight, but if he fouled out and we didn't have Tolu and JD was, it was earlier in the game, we needed someone else. Like he's a kind of guy that, like, do I want him playing center? No, but can he get it done? Yeah, because he like you said, he has that versatility. It wouldn't be, too detrimental, and he can guard the big guys as well. He can guard them because of his length, but also because of, how he does manage to knock balls away, to get steals.
Smart.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So I thought he played great again. And he's starting to hit a stride at the right time. So we're definitely going to need that for sure. So great game again from Ausar Thompson, man. He's been playing really, really well. Didn't have a ton of points, but he created so many other points just with his defense.
Double digits is all I ask from him right now.
Yep,
so 11 is totally fine with me.
Exactly, Richard. There's not many guys who can do that.
Yep.
Not a lot of guys who can guard so many different spots, and that's important. All right, guys, let's keep it pushing, man. Let's go now to Tobias Harris, Uncle T in this game, guys. Tobias Harris finished with 12 points on 5 for 12 shooting overall, 1 of 3 from 3. I'm sorry, 1 of 3 from 3, 1 of 1 from the free throw line. 9 rebounds, boss.
Yes.
7 assists, boss. 1 block, boss.
Yeah.
In 26 minutes for Uncle T. Some good stuff there. What'd you see tonight from Tobias Harris?
Yeah, 12 points is a little below his average, but everything else was above average for him. To get 9 rebounds, especially coming off of a game where we were just struggling with defensive boards, and he goes down and 8 of 9 of his rebounds were defensive boards. That's just huge. And then, 7 assists, tied with Duren actually for the second most behind Jenkins. Just beautiful. He had that nice he had a couple, the way he got his points tonight, because again, he was 5 of 12, but then he started to, I think that was a little bit earlier, he started to just figure out what he needed to do against his team, and he put the vet on them. Like, he had the nice step move where he stopped. He just uses pivot foot to keep moving and get these young guys off of him. They zoomed in on it, and I don't think they zoomed in, but they replayed it, and in the background you just see Isaac Jones just like, I don't know if you saw, he's on the ground like, whoa, what is he doing there, So, and then in the third, he had a nice pump fake and one that he drew, which he can do the pump fake, but we just usually don't see it. Like, he just usually does his little back down. We just saw other types of shots from him tonight, which means that he just adjusted to the defense that was put against him. He got doubled a couple times, especially late. So he's just, figuring out how to score against teams that aren't letting him get that shot. So I'm cool with that. But again, the rebounds were huge, especially it got more as the game went on, because the defensive glass was another place that we kind of struggled. But also in the first quarter, I would say the Pelicans didn't really miss, and neither did we. So there wasn't a lot of rebound opportunities.
That's true. I'd agree.
But in the second, I would say in the second quarter, you just saw that happen a little bit more. And even Kelser pointed that out. Like we just can't let that happen. So definitely a better rebounding night tonight. And a big part of it goes to Tobias, who was second to JD, who had 10. So yeah, just again, a very, very steady vet presence from a guy who, 26 minutes, which is perfect, especially for a guy who was questionable coming in, and you don't want to see him, overexert himself because he feels like we need this win, which we did. But like, he just held it down. Everyone else held it down. To have 7 assists too means that, his teammates were obviously capitalizing off of the passes that he made. And he also had at least one dunk. It feels like a couple, but
yeah, he had one. He had a lob dunk.
Yeah.
I think JD threw pass, got it to him.
Yeah.
Second straight game with a dunk.
Well, love to see that.
I don't know what's going on. It must be
we used to be in Denver. We used to freak out when DeAndre Jordan got one, and that's a center.
Really?
We're like, this
as
is
athletic as he is.
Yeah, because he just never he doesn't go for it as much anymore. He would get open ones from obviously a crazy behind the back no look pass from Jokic. Then he would go up. But if there's any resistance at the rim, I think he's just looking out for his knees. But yeah, so that's kind of how I feel about Tobias. Is just like he's still got it for sure. So yeah, very excited about that.
Yeah, I don't have much to add.
Yeah.
He almost had a trip dub. That to me tells me that, and it wasn't a crazy trip dub, but it was a Tobias triple double type numbers, 9 rebounds and 7 assists, and the block to boot. But it just once again, boss, goes back to what we talked about. Just his ability to kind of just fill whatever hole they need to have filled, because he can do a lot of different things at a high level. He's not really the best at anything, but he's reliable in a lot of different areas. Rebounding, playmaking, scoring, And once again, we only had 17 or 16, I think. We had 16, I think, fast break points tonight. Let me double check. Yeah, 16 or 17 fast break points. So we weren't able to really get to our style of play. But it's just nice to have a guy when you can't get out and run who can get it done for you in the half court.
Yes.
And that's what he routinely did. He was trying to move those wheels a little bit and try to get out in the break to encourage how he want to play. I was like, please don't pop a tire. Please don't pop a tire. But he didn't. But once again, the half court, he's just so reliable. He's somebody you can dump it down to and just say, give me a bucket. He did it last night. He did it again all game tonight. So yeah, he's doing what we expect him to do as a veteran for this team.
Something that we've seen, if it's usually not a Cade lob to Duren, it's a play ran for Tobias to score first. And we saw that tonight. He scored the first basket of the game, which was a 3-pointer. But again, and that's just he benefits from that because obviously the game starts in half court. So, but yeah, just like you said, he's just so reliable in that way. And Kelser and Blaha also pointed it out too. And we've said it here a lot, but just for any of these, they gave it to the whole team. I think Tobias is just a great individual example of it too, but they're just doing such a good job of filling in for the guys that are gone. They're filling in for boards that we don't have with Stu, and they're filling in for assists that we don't get because of Cade out. Like they're just filling in.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's just nice for everybody else around the league to now see that we actually do have a good team. Yeah. Nick Young, who said we wouldn't win 3 games without Cade, and now we won 4. So funny stuff, man.
That's the man with the long hair, right?
Nick Young's what? No. Nick Young played with the Lakers. He's the one that it's the funny meme where he's shooting the 3 and then he turns around before it goes in. He turns around and pops out.
Oh yeah,
that's Nick Young. The funny face, the face when you're always like yesterday or whenever they said that, whenever he made that statement, he had me looking like how he always looks at that meme.
Yeah,
you probably seen that meme. He's like, that's Nick Young.
Okay,
but yeah, so it's like, come on, bro, pay attention.
Yeah,
so
and it's also, I know that yesterday was a loss and it goes down as a loss, but to also, again, I think JB reiterated it's something that we talked about too, but JB in his post-game conference just reiterated, like, of course you want to come out with the win, but to get down by 21 points, it's not something we want to do, but he gave credit to the guys for getting back into the game the way that they did. And we were, again, just one inch away from winning that one. So, and that'd be, a whole different story, but all you can do is just move forward. And we did that tonight.
Yep. Super Morty Man says, Uncle T been playing in the league since 2011. 5-star NBA vet. Yep. He's the OG. He's the OG on this team for sure. And you can see the impact he's having. So, good game from Tobias, man. Boss, let's keep it pushing. Let's go to Jalen Duren, guys, the man child in this game. Tonight, guys, JD finished with a 30 30 ball on 10 for 12 shooting, 9 for 16 last night, 10 for 12 tonight, and 10 for 12 from the free throw line to match. Crazy. Yeah. Another double-double, 30 and 10 with 10 boards, 7 assists, only 3 turnovers, 2 steals, 2 steals and 2 blocks for 4 stocks in 31 minutes. 31 minutes. This is starting to become routine, boss. I'll let you take off first. What did you see tonight from JD, the man child?
I mean, I'm happy that we got more minutes from him. I think that if B-ball didn't get into some foul trouble early, we would have seen a little bit less. So he had to play, especially after playing so long yesterday. So, but he still came out and gave his all. Obviously, I just love that we're seeing him more in the block range because he was, I just think it's gotten, like you said, he's gotten better since All-Star break. And I think his defense has been a big jump as well, not just offensively, but he's really just protecting the paint down there when that's, usually called upon by Stu. But again, he's just staying in that block stat line. I love it. He had in the second, he had a nice and one to start it. He had a block on Fears. He had a really nice turnaround free throw jumper. Jumper at the free throw line at the end of the second. I was like, okay, JD, like we've seen that from him, but usually it was one of those, like, I wasn't even expecting that. Like, it's like, how can you defend that if, even I don't think anybody was. He had a block on Zion at the rim. Zion ended up fighting for it and getting the rebound, but again, there to deter him. He got the rebound in the basket up, but it took him a couple times. It wasn't making it easy. The fourth was a show. It was a freaking show. These better be both number 1 and 2 on tomorrow's top 10 plays because he had a slam over 2 Pelicans. It was an assist from Kevin Huerter. It was he got a steal or grabbed the ball, passed it up to Kev, and Kev gave it right back, and he just threw it down.
He didn't have to even do that with the behind the back pass. He didn't have to do it like that, but he said he would do it anyway.
It was beautiful. And then he brought it up in the fourth as well. It just went right to the basket for the one-handed jam. Like, he was like, nope, like,
yeah, that was nice.
I'm running you guys over. So we just love to see that, especially like late where you're just trying to put it away but just give momentum and just, again, it didn't have to, but he did. And it's just something that I want to see him continue to do more. It's just, he's obviously was attacking the basket a lot today. They had no answers for him. I also have to say, with his 2 steals and 2 blocks, he recorded no fouls.
Wow.
And this is a guy that we've talked about, he can get 3 early fouls. They had points in the paint and he didn't have any fouls. And it's definitely not because he wasn't aggressive, because we can see his numbers right here that he was aggressive defensively. So that's just, again, just that the defense was just beautiful. Icing on the cake. We've talked about how having Stu in the starting lineup would bring both offense and defense. And while I still do agree with that, it's nice that JD is kind of just getting into his zone in both ends of the floor with that.
Right.
So very fun game from Jalen Duren, and another 30-10 game. Love to see it. And 7 assists. I'm sorry.
That's what I was going to say. Much like Claire said, much like Tobias, he almost had a triple-double too.
So close.
Very hefty triple-double, which is crazy. So for me, and I think you guys are kind of talking about it too. Yeah, Chris is talking about it too. The Pelicans thought that starting DeAndre Jordan in place of Derek Queen was going to do something. Derek Queen is a starting center for that team, but Derek Queen is only 6'9". He's a baby in the league. He hasn't even got his real man strength yet. He's big, but he's not really. He can't handle JD. I mean, nobody really.
You saw rookie mistakes. You saw rookie things. Yeah.
Yeah, and he's just not strong enough. He's just not strong enough. So it was just funny for me to see them go with DeAndre Jordan.
But you know what?
Opposed to Derek Queen.
We've both said on here that JD tends to play more his worst against vets, against guys like Vuja. He tends to play less aggressive against those guys. So so the Pelicans probably it's funny, but it's also like they're just going off of what they've seen work. And that's, I think, another reason why it's cool for him to get a 30-10 game. But even as a big DeAndre Jordan fan, no.
So like DJ in his prime was a good player.
Crazy.
Lob City, even early with Denver, right? He was still a good player even then. But he's 37 years old now. So I wanted to see JD, who was 15 years younger, try to wear him out. Use your youth to your advantage. Like vets, like you said, he does struggle at times with vets, but anybody that old, like especially with our style of play, with how we want to get up and like, bro, I was like, you would wear him out, and I was disappointed because in the first quarter, JD took one shot, one
Oh,
shot
wow.
in the
Okay.
first quarter, and I thought that was a big part of why they were down. That's because they weren't able to stack possessions together because they weren't able to get easy scores, and I thought they could have did that in the first quarter. So it was funny because in the second quarter they got him the ball, and he scored 17 points
Yeah.
in the second quarter alone.
That's crazy.
Alone. So that was my thing. It's like, why aren't they going to him early in this game and just setting the tone early?
Yeah.
JD, Derek Queen, whoever it is, neither of those guys can really guard him. So that was my thing. So they got to it. They started getting him the ball, and he started to score. It was just kind of perplexing, like early on, like one shot for JD against his team. So that was, but they made the adjustment. That was great.
Yeah.
Also, two more things. The passing, 7 assists. 7 assists and 3 turnovers for a big is good. Like I have different standards for point guards versus bigs as far as that goes, right? Unless you're like Joker or somebody. But yeah, 7 to 3, that's better than a 2 to 1 assist turnover ratio. I'm taking that for JD.
Yeah.
I'm taking that. He's got much better with just his passing overall, with his decision making, with his reads, how he's processing what's in front of him. His IQ was definitely improving. I do think he has to be careful at times with his overhead passes, though.
Agreed.
Sometimes they kind of sail on him. He had one that he was trying to get to Sass and it sailed out of bounds. He was trying to encourage, pace. But he's got to be careful with that. He made up for it because later on he made another pass that was on the money.
Yep.
To Ausar for a dunk, and it was right over the extended hand of Herb Jones. That was a perfect pass. That was like Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, like right, perfect. It couldn't get much better than that. So you see it's coming. You see it's coming, right? For a 22-year-old, you see it's coming. But I did love what I saw there. And then lastly, 30 points on 12 shots, boss.
That's crazy.
You know why though, right? 10 for 12 from the free throw line.
Oh yeah. I was like,
again.
Yeah.
So guys, we talked about it yesterday. He was 18 for 19 coming into this game over his last 2 games. Tonight, the last 3 games now, he's 28 for 31 from the free throw line.
That's crazy.
Jalen Duren is 28 for 31 from the free throw line. And I'm going to continue to harp on this because this is the one thing I've been harping on him all year is you got to knock him down. You've been saying the same thing. You got to knock him down. You get him in the bonus, you get guys in foul trouble, great. Now, what do you do when you get into the bonus?
Right.
You knocking him down or no? Right?
Yeah.
And he has stepped up the last 3 games and has knocked them down continuously. So for me, that's huge because I said it before. He's going to be living in that paint. He knows now that 95% of the guys in the league can't guard him. He knows that he can punish him. He knows he's going to get fouled. So now he's like, you can't get more efficient than this. He has a chance to be one of the most efficient bigs we've seen in a long time.
Yeah.
Because of how big and strong he is and how gifted he is scoring the ball and also his ability to knock down his free throws. So that's huge. That is huge for Jalen Duren.
And like you said, I think my biggest thing was when he struggled. He was a much better free throw shooter this year than last year, but it was when, again, people complain that he's always complaining, and then he would get the call and he would miss his free throws. It's like, well, you gotta make them. You gotta pay it off. So that was my biggest complaint. So obviously that's huge. And again, like you said, bring up his passes. He's not really a guy that I ever expected to be, a great assister, but they're getting better, and it's big because teams are going to have to slow him down. Like we saw, they even slowed it down for us, but when he got for Huerter's 3, or maybe that was Wu's 3, one of the 3s he passed in the corner is because guys are collapsing on him. So if he can, clean his passes up, make, not sail it overhead, not do it too hard, not do it too soft, just, and like he did tonight, a couple mistakes, but that's just what you get from having to do it more. He had a great no look to one of the guys in the corner. Like these guys are going to have to collapse on you and stop you at the rim, but then you can hit it out to one of your 3-point shooters. And then you're still under the rim to help grab the offensive board if needed. So I think we're just going to see the more that he is attacked in the paint or not attacked, but the more that he attacks the paint, the more that we get him the ball in the paint, we're going to see his points go up, his free throws go up, and his assists go up. Because he's making the right decisions on when to. I think he's the way he looked tonight was very decisive in that he knew whether he was going to go up for it or he knew that he had somebody that was going to collapse on him. Like he made those decisions quick. So
that's like once you see it enough times, once you see it enough times, defense, once you rep it out enough, it's going to become muscle memory. Like we've seen him at times out of the pick and roll. He gets to the free throw line off the catch.
Yep.
And in the past, we normally see Ausar darting from the corner to the rim,
Mm-hmm.
and he drops it off for a dunk. Tonight, we saw different personnel. Same play, just different personnel. And that can be confusing for defenses. This time, instead of Ausar cutting, it was Javonte Green camped out in the corner.
Yep.
And he knocked down the 3 ball. So once again, you can run different stuff with different guys, and it makes it hard to defend. But it starts with his processing because it's a quick decision. It's a quick decision, like you said. So once again, he's just showing his ability as a playmaker now, along with his dominance in the paint. And that's going to make him really hard to defend, and us as a team harder to guard.
That, even if those plays, obviously they can be done in the half court, a lot of them were tonight, but that speeds up the pace. It speeds up the pace of the game when you're able to just quickly make those decisions. And he got 7 assists tonight too, because the guys that he did call upon in the corners were able to sink their threes. Again, we shot great 3-point percentage for us tonight. And it's just being able to have that flexibility is just going to be huge. Like these guys have to determine whether JD has to go one-on-one with someone because our guys are making threes and they know that JD can pass it out, or if they're going to collapse it and just take the risk that guys are going to, like, we'll get to Chaz Lanier later, but he was left open for his shots because no one knew who he was. Like, I was like, you silly people. But if we can call in some, like if Huerter again can make those threes, if Wu, which we know he can, but if he can consistently, which he usually does, make those corner threes, it's just going to be tougher for teams to defend us.
Exactly.
Yeah,
it's a great problem to have, man. So I thought he was great tonight. 30, 10, and 7 on efficient shooting on 12 shots. Like, you got nothing to complain about, bro. And he's getting you 2 blocks and 2, he's going to be a top 5 big in this league, man. He's going to be a top 5 big in this league. He may already be close to that, but.
I think I told you, I think he's the best in the East. I think Bam made an argument for himself with his scoring, but consistently over time, best in the East. And I think he did go up today. I think he is the favorite, at least on the sports books, for most improved. I think that was announced today.
I think him and Jalen Johnson are leading the charge, but yeah, I think JD's gonna get it. So we'll see. Yeah. All right, boss. Let's keep it pushing, man. Let's check some quick comments. You can see guys like JD, Ausar, and DJ stepping up their leadership in K's absence. That's a blessing in disguise, Heisenberg, for sure. Having 4 key guys out for the Pistons and still get a dub by 20 is a good sign for this team. Yep. Just makes everything, gives us more confidence when those guys come back for sure.
I just want to say too, on both of those points, we shot almost 57% field goal tonight. We shot 51% last night despite the loss. It's kind of the answer to some of the problems of, the criticism of we don't have enough scorers around Cade. Right. If these guys can get into rhythm when Cade returns, then we have too many scorers that they can't decide who to double. So we're getting into the offensive. And I think that's why we saw some things waver, like rebounding, like some defensive intensity while we're getting to this, but it'll all balance out again. That's something that happened earlier this season as well, with our defense just being so good and our offense just being way off. Then we found a nice middle ground, and now we're kind of exceeding on both ends. So
yeah, they got to pick that poison. They got to give us something, and the Pistons just taking what they're giving them. What up, though, Tom? There we go. He came in quick with it. Okay, cool. He came in quick with it.
Glad you did the mic test, because
Detroit basketball. What up, though?
The mic test was needed based on all the.
It's funny because last night he just put like in lowercase. He just put Detroit basketball.
It's like I still love you guys. Yeah.
Shout out to Tom, man.
Yes.
All right, guys, let's keep pushing. We got 8 more guys to get to, boss. So let's go ahead and try to run through these before it gets too crazy. All right, let's start with Marcus Sasser, boss, tonight, who actually got his first bump, I think, in the last 2 or 3 games. He was injured. So he has 7 points tonight, guys, on 3 for 11 shooting, 1 of 4 from 3, 2 boards, 1 assist, 2 turnovers in 16 minutes. What'd you see tonight from Saz?
Yeah, it's good to see him back again, guys. He kind of played out of position. I think he does play better off of a point, off of a Jenkins, off of a Cade, but today he had to play backup because we didn't even have Levert. He was kind of the only option. His first shot attempt was a 3, and he made it. I just love that. And he attempted a couple more threes, but he made a long 2 in the third after a couple missed floaters. The biggest thing for me was that the rim was hard for him today. He got it blocked a couple of times, and then the other times it was just a little bit off. He just couldn't get the paint, his paint shot going, which was a bummer because he got some good looks. But I did like that, he hit that what originally we thought was a 3, but was a long 2. He hit that after 2 possessions of trying to get in the paint and get offense. So he wasn't deterred to shoot the ball, which is fine. He just wants to, get into rhythm. I think, only 1 assist is just, not good enough for, and having 2 turnovers, but that's not a good ratio, but also just not good enough for our backup point guard. But he only played 16 minutes. And again, everybody else, or a lot of other guys stepped up in that assist area. So it was just nice to see him on the court again. I want to see more of him. He just, you get his size. The Pelicans aren't necessarily big, but you could tell his size difference on the court tonight, I think. And again, that's usually something that I try not to hold against him, because I think he still does amazing things at the height. You can't train height.
Size.
Right, exactly. Teach size. But yeah, so if just a couple more of those floaters went in, it would have been a little bit of a different story, but he at least tried. He got some good looks. Wasn't detrimental to the team, played good defense. A couple guys just shot over him, but he also bothered a few that they ended up missing their shot. So he was out there, he was working. It's just nice to see him. So, and I do hope we see more of him.
Boss, we got a Knicks fan in the chat. Super Morty Man says, no, these Knicks fans are bugging right now, but JB Hammer says, no, real Knicks fans know that we ain't as good as the top 2. With a bit of luck, New York can squeak by anyway. We don't hear that too often from Knicks fans.
Yeah,
so,
and I still think they have a chance. Well, now they're 1 now. So
are they 2 now? Aren't they 2 now? Or are they 3?
No, they because Celtics won
after
and
last
then
night. Okay.
Yeah. So then they lost. The Knicks lost tonight. So
okay. Gotcha.
The Celtics are 4.5 behind us, and the Knicks are 5.5. Because I thought that they were. I did think that they were going to overtake them, but the Knicks have a little
Hornets tonight, right?
Of an easy. Yeah.
Okay.
The Knicks have the easiest schedule remaining of the 3 of us, I think. So they could still overtake the Celtics. But,
okay.
We'll see. Yeah.
I respect JB Hammer.
Yeah.
Respect, man. We don't get too many civil Knicks fans come through. So, we appreciate the realistic take there, bro.
Yeah.
Boss, let's move on. Well, let me talk about Saz real quick. I don't have too much to add to what you said. I did think he tried to play Pistons basketball tonight. It wasn't great, but I felt like he tried to encourage. He was great as far as his ball movement. He was moving all over the court. He was running and sprinting back and forth, trying to make himself available, trying to find gaps in the defense, things like that. He had a nice pass for Kevin Huerter on the cut to the hoop. That was nice. Nice little shovel pass to Huerter, who was cutting to the rim. That was nice. But I thought he moved well also without the basketball too. He was able to. That's how he got a lot of his looks. It's just movement, catch and shoot. Movement, catch and shoot. So he was just constantly just energizing Punny out there offensively, just trying to, find some space and get a shot off. So even though it didn't fall, I liked the way he played. This is what we always say, because you can't always control your shot, but you can control how you play, right? And I thought he played with the style that the Pistons like to play. Bring it defensively as best you can, and then offensively, just don't turn the ball over, take care of the basketball, move the ball, spread the wealth, try to find guys, and just play team basketball. So I thought even though he didn't shoot great, I liked the way he tried to play. So that's all I can really ask for was ask.
Agreed. Yeah, I like the way you put that. He still tried to play Detroit basketball. The shot just wasn't falling at certain times, but other than that, he looked good out there, and especially coming off of 3 games of not being able to
not
play.
Playing. Yeah, pretty good flow. Yeah. All right, boss. Let's go to Ron Holland in this game, guys. Ron Holland played 19 minutes, finished with only 2 points on 1 of 6 shooting. Man, he's struggling with that shot right now. 1 of 6, 7 boards, which is a good sign for him. 4 assists is also a great sign for him. 2 turnovers, not bad. In 19 minutes, boss. What'd you see from Ron tonight? It's an interesting game from him. What'd you see from him?
Yeah, he also only had 2 fouls, which I was under the impression he had like 3 early. I think actually the third one I'm thinking of went to Jenkins, and the whistle just isn't there for him. Like it was annoying. The one he had like a knockaway from. We had just won the early challenge for out of bounds, which I understand why JB did it. Because he realized that he's going to win it. He still had another one to use. The fact that he had to use both in the first half is annoying, and that he let them know about it. But I think that if he didn't use that one, it was just too close to the first challenge, and still in the first quarter. But I think he would have
can't take him with you.
Yeah, exactly. He just doesn't. He really just the way he defends. I don't know if it's his sporadicness. I don't know if it's aggression, but the refs just do not give him any leeway, which is a bummer. Again, he only finished with 2. It felt like more. The shot a little rough. He had a couple at the rim that just should have gone in, and they just didn't. They popped out.
I know, it rolled off. Yeah.
So kind of like what you just said with Sass, he's still playing his game. It just wasn't there tonight. this was a game I did think that I predicted he would do better at compared to last game. He definitely did on the boards, which is what we want. He understood the assignment on crashing the boards, had the third most behind Tobias and JD, had the most off the bench. Huge. Actually, everybody, guys, that played for us tonight, all 13 of them did register a board. So they all understood the assignment from last night. Love to see that. But yeah, 4 assists is great too. But my favorite assist was right in the fourth quarter when we were just on our run. After I think we got it back up to 12 or something after New Orleans cut it down to 4. He had the behind the back handles that just like got over the line, and then he passed it to Daniss for the 3 and immediate timeout. And he felt good about it. He felt fired up, and he did play 19 minutes, but the last 3 were basically it was him and then all the guys that never get to play, Chaz, Isaac,
The
Bobi,
Motor City
Tolu.
Pistons.
Yeah, exactly. So he was definitely trying to get them more offense and opportunities. It's probably where some of his assists came from too.
That was
But
cool to see.
yeah, absolutely. So the boards are great, but otherwise I'm just, maybe I still expect he still looks like Ron. I just want some of his shots to fall. It'll be fun to see him against the Timberwolves. He was, him, Nas, and Dante. I forgot about that.
Yeah, so
Nas and Dante.
we'll see. And no stew. So hopefully, don't come to nothing like that. Like I'm hoping these guys are past that. I'm ready. I'm ready to move on from that.
Oh, okay. They all are.
As far as all that. Yeah, I hope
they all are. And
especially now playoffs in a way. Yeah.
The Wolves the Wolves were better than us at that point in the season, but right now the Wolves are really just fighting for their life and trying to in position in the West. So it is going to be aggressive, but we're the first team in the East. They gotta put a little bit of respect on Ron Holland's name, So.
Heisenberg says Ron's been having trouble scoring lately, but he's still running hustle out there, rebounding, passing, pestering, etc. Exactly. Yeah, that dime or that behind the back on Derek Queen. He told him, "You reach, I teach, bro. You reach, I teach."
Yeah, I love it.
It's funny because when he reached and Ron went behind his back, and literally Derek Queen just it fell out of the screen. Yeah. He just disappeared from the screen. That was funny. But that was good for him. That was good for him. Even though it wasn't a bucket, just for him to be able to make a play like that, because he's really been frustrated. He's really trying hard out there. You can see he's really trying to score at the rim. He's trying to encourage our style of play. He's trying to get in transition. He's trying to get downhill, and he's not getting any calls. He's not getting any balls to bounce his way. It's just like, but he's still playing. He's still playing.
Yeah.
He's not allowing that to affect his energy, his effort. Nah, he's gonna always bring that defense. So that's one thing I'm encouraged by with him.
And I do think that he does get not discouraged, but it breaks up his flow when he's playing good defense and he's getting these whistles early. No, you can't do that kind of stuff. And then he wants to make up for it on the other end. And I'm not saying they're bad shots or bad decisions, but he wants to go out there and be like, okay, well, if you're gonna give them that, then I'm gonna go get mine. And I think that might be why a little bit. But so if he can get in a good flow on defense, he's definitely, we said this with a lot of guys, but he's definitely probably one of the main ones where if his defense is on, his offense is on. His defense is on all the time. But unfortunately, just like with rhythm, stuff like that, the whistles, things like that can bother you. And especially when we've talked about it already, but when he gets whistles and then he's driving and he gets contact and there's no calls, it's tough. It's a little demoralizing. It's frustrating. So
just keep playing, bro. By the way, do you guys like his old look or do you like the draft night Ron look? The shortcut draft night Ron look. Y'all let us know. I like the shortcut. I ain't gonna lie. I think the shortcut is smooth on him. He looks nice and clean.
He looks good in it all, but I just think like his last hair, especially with the ponies, just gave me that's Ron vibes. Like he just came out crazy eyes.
I ain't mad at it.
Yeah, exactly. So that's how he looks a little bit too clean for his personality.
Yeah. All right, we'll leave it there on Ron, guys. Let's keep pushing, boss. Let's go to Javonte Green, guys. Javonte Savage. Can you whoa in this game, guys? Finished with 8 points on 3 of 4 shooting, 2 of 3 from 3. 1 board, 1 assist, 1 turnover, and a steal in 20 minutes. So this is more minutes, I think, than we've seen from him lately, right? If I can recall correctly.
Yep.
What'd you see tonight from Savage?
Oh, I loved it. Just back to himself. 3 of 4 shooting, especially just off of good defense. He's in the steals, He had a block. He should have that block. He had a block on Queen from behind. Queen went up for a dunk,
Yeah.
and Wu got out of his hands. That's a block.
Yeah.
So he should definitely, that should be adjusted. Because there's a couple guys, Zion, there was a couple guys. He ended with 3 fouls because of his aggressiveness, which I'm not mad at. But he was just more aggressive under the rim today. Usually he doesn't end up with fouls because he's more of a perimeter defender, but under the rim, he was trying to get knockaways, blocks, obviously.
That's a tough cover, man. Derek Queen is way bigger than him.
Yeah. He had a big 3 early in the 4th, again, right to get the lead back to 10. That was right after Huerter's 3. They're just stacking it. And 3 of 4, that's just more his style. Very reliable. He was, I was like, I know he had more than 1 3. So 2 of 3 from threes.
Yeah,
just looked good out there. He just looked really good out there. Zero complaints. I think he's just trying to get back into his flow as well, but it's hard. Like we just talked about this earlier with Daniss Jenkins. Like it's just hard sometimes when you don't have the repetition, when your minutes are going up and down, and he's had to sacrifice minutes for this, shooting guard kind of race. So to see him at 20 minutes again, it definitely benefits us. It benefits him when guys in other positions are injured, and he's out there, and we know, like we've said this, we know that he can shoot, but he's not out there in like a Huerter role where we want offense and then defense is bonus. We want defense and offense is bonus. And his offense, again, he always tends to make the clutch shots, the shots that we really need. So fantastic game from Javonte. I was just excited to see him and excited for more.
Yeah, I agree. Richard says we'll have to step to speed when he's in a run out. He hits another. Yeah, bro.
He's insane.
Yeah, at 32, still he's got incredible athleticism, man. Don't get caught in the air because you'll find yourself in the poster the next day.
Oh yeah.
Or on social media somewhere.
Yeah.
So for me, last game I said that I didn't like his shot diet. Right. Last game yesterday against the Hawks, and just the quality of his shots weren't there. He was having to put the ball on the floor, trying to spin and get to the rim, going off glass. Just not what he is accustomed to doing. But we also explain why. It's that the point guard play after Daniss just wasn't great, right? Tonight it was better. I'm looking at how many shots he took. He only took 4 shots. And I'm looking at the shots that he took. They were in rhythm, open shots. And more times than not, he's going to knock those down. That's really all you want from him offensively. Aside from him creating his own offense off his defense, getting steals and getting out on the break and like we talked about, putting guys on posters and throwing dunks down. Aside from that, I want him shooting set threes. That's what I want. That's literally it. And that's what he did tonight. Yeah. That was what he did. So for me, I'm like, okay, well, what was the difference? Was it because Sas played instead of Karras? Was it because Daniss played more minutes? And I'm still trying. I'm gonna go back and rewatch. I'm not really sure yet what the difference was. I think Sas did do some things though offensively.
Agreed.
To provide more space on the court to allow him to be able to get more open shots. I think that was a big part of it. Yeah, Chris, Mr. I hit my threes and we all hit our threes tonight, Coach. Yeah, but I'm going to go back and watch the game again and just kind of see what the difference was. But either way, his shot diet was way better.
Agreed.
Better. The quality of his shots were way better. And as a result, defensively, he's going to do what he's going to do. But offensively, it was a much better shot diet for him. And I think that resulted in him scoring more points in this game.
And I could be wrong here. So when you do go back and watch, I think last game he was required to, the passes that he was getting when he was getting the hand on the ball, he had to kind of create his own offense. And he was trying to help the team out, especially when we got into the deficit and everything. So I think he was just trying to put up shots to help the team. So I think it was more of him as well. But like we just said, like he is much better off the catch and shoot or dribble to the side and shoot. And it seemed like Sass and Duren and just, being in that corner just really helped him instead of having, him to have to dribble around a defender and try to find his own shot, whether that was free or in the paint. That's kind of is what I think more so is he was trying to be helpful in that sense, but also he had to find his own offense a little bit.
Richard said he thinks it's because Karras was point guard. And that was kind of what I was saying last game. Like, I don't know if that was the reason why, but we know Karras isn't he's not a point guard. He's on a point guard. So it's hard for him sometimes to facilitate shots, good shots for others. So maybe that was part of it. But we'll see. I'm not going to blame Karras, but it was something I noticed in this game. So now I got to go do my homework and figure out why. But whatever it was, they got to keep doing it for sure. So
agreed.
Good game from Wu. So boss, we got 5 more guys. Let's run through these guys real quick. Let's go Paul Reed first, guys. Paul Reed in this game. B-ball Paul finished with 8 points on 3 of 3 shooting, 2 of 3 from the free throw line, 3 boards, 1 assist, a turnover, and a steal. Those last few numbers don't surprise me for him.
Yep.
In 14 minutes. So
Yeah.
14 minutes from B-Ball Paul. So what did you see tonight from Paul?
Yeah, it's just a bummer. He had 2 early fouls. And then
foul trouble.
there's the foul trouble game. And this was a game that I said I would bet the over on him because I thought he would bounce back right away.
Yeah.
For me, I'm at this point, he still ended up making some really good plays. He had some great offensive boards that led to dunks. He had some good cuts that got him baskets.
Yep.
He had a big and one at the end of the first. He missed the free throw, but he was still there. And last game he recorded 0 rebounds, so he improved that by 3.
Right.
And he was 3 for 3 for his shots tonight too.
Yeah.
To me, I just hope that I'm not worried about B-Ball Paul, but I just hope that he's not being too hard on himself, that he's not going through a mental slump. Right. You see it all the time, and he just wants to get better. But also we see that you see him get 2 fouls early. You see him getting foul trouble. You see him frustrated, but he's still playing the right game because he went 3 for 3. It's not like he went 3 for 7, and some of the fouls, I would say at least 2 of them were a little bit like, come on.
Yeah, ticky-tack fouls.
But he did play aggressive, physical, just trying to find his rhythm, I think, a little bit again. And so now I say that the next game will be, his game. I'm not worried about him yet, but if he has another game where he's in fouling out and foul trouble early, he's that's really all he did bad tonight was basically that. So
sometimes
I think as long as he just looks a little bit more like himself in terms of just overall game, because he's been out there, usually goes out there and there's just 0 complaints about what he's done. And just like yesterday was just a bad game with rebounds and shooting and defense. And today was a bad game just in personal fouls. So
yeah,
I'm not worried about him yet, but if he has another off game for him, I'll say another 2 off games for him.
Game because he didn't even miss a shot.
That's true.
Like,
but
I can't even say it's an off game.
I'll say off mentally because he was just beating himself up. I think he's very hard on himself.
He's hard on himself.
I like that.
He's
He's
that's
outwardly beating himself up for these fouls and everything, shaking his head, doing that. Usually he does that one time in a game and then it's clear shooting. And today it was just kind of consistent of like, what, I can't believe I just did that. So I just want him mentally to be okay there. That mentally more himself, I would say.
Heisenberg said he's getting around with him tonight. Yeah. So guys, going forward, I asked you this before, boss. Are we going to see more from now until the end of the season? Are we going to see more B-Ball Paul like this or more JD like this? Not getting a foul call. Y'all let us know. And boss, what you think? What are we going to see more of? I hope we don't see neither. A lot of neither.
I mean, right now, based on the last couple of games, it's B-Ball here. But but hopefully, the next few, especially against the who we have coming up, if that's when he feels a little bit mentally more sound, he's good. And that these guys they hold each other accountable, but that JB is like, this wasn't a good game from you in terms of foul trouble, but you still delivered on all other areas. Like you're good. You're good.
For sure.
So yeah.
But. Yeah. All right. We'll leave it there, guys, on B-Ball Paul. Oh, actually, no, I got one more point to make. I did like the N1 finish. I don't know how he got that up. His foot almost touched the ground when he let the ball go. That was crazy.
Yeah.
But that was nice. And his energy, we always talk about it. He doesn't let, Ron, he doesn't let the whistle affect his energy.
So true.
Which is a great point. And by the time this game got to the third quarter, his energy alone helped him because third quarter, DeAndre Jordan was gassed. 37-year-old DeAndre Jordan was gassed, trying to get up and down the floor with JD. By the time Paul Reed came into the game, he was like, Coach, come get me, bro. Come get me.
I'm done.
But he was able to beat DJ down the court routinely.
Yeah.
Just over and over again, getting behind him for easy finishes. So the energy sometimes can win the day for you.
Agreed.
Not always going to do it, right? Ron is trying to bring it's not working out for him right now. It's okay. But if you consistently bring it, it's going to work out for you. And that's how it was for Paul Reed tonight. That's why he finished 3 for 3, because some of those baskets outside of the N1 were easy scores. Just energy, just running, just sprinting, just getting down the court and make yourself available. And he did that. So one thing, that's why I'm not concerned about him, because he's always going to bring that energy. And he's going to find a way to make some kind of impact, whether it's scoring, blocking shots, rebounding. The energy that he brings a lot of time is unmatched with regard to who he's going up against. So that alone is going to sometimes for him win the day. So just keep bringing that energy, bro. keep the hands on your head a little bit less, play through it, and it'll work out for him. But I thought he played well in this game. Aside from the fouls and all that, I still thought he played a good game by his standards.
Agreed.
All right, guys, let's keep it pushing. Let's go to Swaggy Chaz. Chaz Lanier, guys, got some run. 10 minutes in this game for Chaz Lanier. He scored 6 points on 2 of 4 from the field. All 4 of his shots were threes, so 50% from the field and from three is good for him. He missed his only free throw. He had 1 board and 1 assist to go along with it in 10 minutes. Boss, what did you see tonight from Swaggy Chaz in this game?
Gosh, it was fun to see him in 10 minutes. I'm happy with this. Also, the 2 threes that he scored were both right when he checked into the game. The first possession after he checked in. So in the first, he checked into the game, scored a 3 on his first possession. In the fourth, he checked into the game, scored a 3 on the first offensive possession. So, that's microwave material right there. Now it's just getting those ones when you're out there already a little bit in between. But none of them were bad shots. They were all it was just nice to see a couple go in for him. It was fun. You can tell that he doesn't play with his team a lot because like Duncan was early in the season, he was just kind of camped out in the same spot on offense. And because that's where they want him. They want him there for his 3-point shooting. But Duncan has learned to move with the offense as well. Cut. Chaz is just like, I'll stay here. I'll stay safe. All that stuff. So you can just tell that he hasn't had a run with this team. But loved what I saw, and he's definitely who we drafted last year and who I want to see on this team further with his development. He's been killing it for the Crews. Again, we haven't had to see him a lot because it's the first time we haven't really had to rely on rookies to produce for us right away. And he was a 2nd round pick, right?
Yep.
Or was he late third? No, he was 32.
He was 2nd round.
Okay. But yeah, so I'm thrilled. Yeah. The first 2 of 4 threes, happy. He got the board, happy.
Exactly.
As an assist, happy. No turnovers, happy. Good.
Yeah. Chris says Chaz. Yeah, it was good. I'm just happy for the opportunity for him.
Big Sean needs to capitalize off of that.
Say again?
That's his song. Big Sean needs to capitalize.
Low key, should he go with Chaz or Saz? That's the question. Saz sounds more like it.
Saz does, yeah.
Low key, just drop the S. You know what I'm saying? But
let's see. I personally don't see both of them being on our team next season.
So you would go with Chaz?
I'll just see who goes. I'm not gonna say who. Yeah, I'll just say for if Big Sean wants a new song for next season, pick the one that stays. So
yeah. We'll see. Yeah. But let's get some quick comments. Heisenberg says glad to see a couple of his 3 balls going. It had been yes, it has been a while because he had played in some games prior the last few weeks.
Yeah,
he wasn't able to get the ball.
Not a lot. Yeah.
Right. So who knows, boss? Maybe it's kind of like how your boy Jamal Murray says, I just got to see one go in. And from that point,
guys. Fun fact, Jamal Murray, who just got 53 points in a game, his second 50-point game of the season, he started his career missing. He went 0 for 17.
Yep.
Through 5 games. Didn't make a single shot.
You see me that earlier today. I couldn't believe that. That's wild.
He got to the free throw line and made some free throws, and it was a whole different story. Also, fun fact, Aaron, of the people that have scored 50 points this year, Jamal's both of his 50 games and Aaron Gordon's 50-point game, they're the only players that did it with less than 5 free throws.
Wow. They probably hit a ton of 3 balls, and that's for sure.
Oh, yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Anyways,
that's
fun facts.
Denver Nuggets, don't sleep on them in the Western Conference, y'all. Anyway, Chris says he reminds me of Allen Houston. Yeah, we've talked about that before. Ooh, I see a lot of Allen Houston in him. Just a pretty stroke, man. Pretty jumper. Just if you leave him open, it's over. It's over. So I see a lot of that too, Chris. I think he can be that kind of player. Similar build, quick release, beautiful release, great form, great balance, all that. Yeah, he's gonna be. I think he's gonna be a stud. I really think he's gonna be a stud for this team, man. I do. Okay. So we'll see. All right, guys, let's keep pushing. Boss, let's go to Tolu Smith here. Make sure y'all subscribe to my boy Downtown News.
Nobody.
My boy Tolu, guys. Tolu Smith in this game finished with 2 points, 1 for 1, made his only shot, 1 board, 1 assist, and 1 turnover in 2 minutes. So pretty efficient for Tolu. What'd you see from him?
Yeah, and the 1 turnover would definitely should have called a foul, but they were like, "It's garbage time, guys. We're not calling these fouls." Because they said to the same thing that Derek Queen on the other end. They're like, she's just looking at him like, "Just go." But that's just what you get sometimes. That's the respect you get. But great to see him. Always fun to see him. Like Blaha said, he thinks that this is a guy who's ready for the NBA, and I agree.
Yeah.
His getting boards is just what I think of with him, but he's just so good. He had great on defense, great effort. He had that tap in, which was basically an offensive rebound kind of, thing, tap in. So happy to see him out there. Not a guy. I wish he had a little bit more minutes. I understand why coach is just letting some of these guys that are definitely going to be in the playoff rotation play a little longer. And B-ball, who was there's basically like waiting for him to fall out, sort of thing.
Pretty much.
But I would love to see more of him. I don't know if we will before the season's over, unless the last couple of games. But yeah, he's just his size, the way he plays, he just really takes up space on the court. He looks much bigger than everybody else. So it was fun.
Yeah, he's our true footer. I think he's 6'11", 7 foot in the nose. And I've seen him up close and personal. He's every bit, even without the throw, he's every bit of 6'11", 7 feet. So he's a big dude, man. Some of y'all said we look alike. Like, bro, just because we have the same complexion don't mean we look alike, bro. Y'all need to stop with that mess. Like, come on, bro. Don't do that. I did like his effort. The putback finish was nice. Finish was nice, right? So once again, he's gonna come in and do his job. He's gonna come in from jump. He doesn't need to get started, revved up. He comes in and he's immediately ready to go. So Chris says, I like Tolu even if he doesn't play much. Yeah. I'm wondering if he's gonna be part of the rotation going to the playoffs, if they're gonna carry another big. That's something I'm looking to see, if they carry a fourth big. If they carry
some of these matchups, it would be beneficial. We could, after we make it past the first round, we could meet the Cavs. We could meet the Knicks have played Cat with Mitchell Robinson together. It doesn't last long because they don't have a third big, and here we are coming in with 4. That could really wear a team down. So
that's exactly what I was about to say.
And especially if we need board presence, or if we just want to beat guys up and we don't care about foul trouble and we just want to tire them out, we got 4 great guys to do it. So
100%. So we'll see. But good stuff from Tolu. Always love to see him get in the court, man. He works his tail off with the crew. He's been balling with the crews too. Him and Isaac Jones went off the last game with the crews. Speaking of Isaac Jones, boss, let's go ahead and get to Isaac Jones, who got some bump tonight, guys. Isaac Jones didn't score. He missed his only shot. 1 board and a block, though, in 3 minutes. Good stuff from Isaac Jones, boss. All right. 1
board and a block is great. And I just had something nice to say about everybody that played, even if, he didn't score, but he made it tough on Queen.
Yeah,
Queen had to play this whole game, and then he's like, okay, finally I can get to the rim easy against these G Leaguers. And Isaac Jones said, absolutely not. I also liked, he was kind of the one to bring it up the court or set up the play, which I didn't realize was in his game. So, but to be fair, I haven't seen a lot of Cruz games or anything. So, and I think the best takeaway tonight again was his reaction to Tobias's move, some of the vet moves. But it was really cool to see him. And again, God, that lineup out there, the last one with Bobi and Tolu and Isaac, and I was just like, this is big.
Yeah,
this is a big team. No wonder the Crews are really good. This team is huge. So it was fun to see him. And my positive was just that he again showed effort. Wasn't just a cone. Didn't let Queen just get to the basket because we were up by 20. He said, no, this is not easy for you. I'm not going to let you have this easy. And he didn't. He missed. So
that was good once again for him to get opportunity, because I think he had a 40-point game earlier this year or something like that. He's been balling with the Crews. Something crazy. So I've got a chance to see him. I've caught some Crews games this year as well. So I try to keep up with these guys, and it's just good to see these guys start to get opportunity on the bigger stage.
We asked this yesterday because the Crews did win, but their playoffs start on the 30th, I believe. It might be the 31st, but their playoffs do start in a few days.
Yeah, so we'll see. Chris says, I would love to see Duren and Stu starting with Reed and Tolu back. I mean, bro, that's what I've been on all year. We probably won't see it as a starting unit, but I'm sure we'll see some JD and Stu playing together in the playoffs because of the reasons boss just mentioned, against the Jared Allens and the Evan Mobleys and the Bryants, all those guys over there. So I think he's still playing with Cleveland Bryant. Thomas Bryant. Yeah. So that would make sense. That would make sense. Even if not as a starting group this year, Chris, I still wouldn't mind it next year and beyond, just because that's who we are. Right. So 100%, we'll see. But that's a great point, Chris. And I agree with you there, bro. Boss, lastly, let's go to Bobi Klintman in this game. Guys, tonight Bobi Klintman finished with, where are you, Bobi? There you go. With 2 points, made his only shot, grabbed a rebound in 3 minutes. So all of our Motor City Pistons scored pretty much, at least got a chance to score. They affected the game late in the game. What did you see tonight from Bobi?
Yeah, look, so Tolu gave him the ball. Someone gave him the ball under the basket and he started to back away. And I was like, no, Bobby, be aggressive. Go up.
Same.
But then he turned around and it almost looked like a lob because I was like, what are you doing? The way he just like threw it.
The jump
it was
hook.
just the softest little touch floater in. He is very graceful. Like they compared him to Gazelle, and that's kind of how he plays. But he backed away because that's the shot he wanted. He still went up and was aggressive to get a shot up. I'm happy about that. I'm happy he didn't, Tolu was like, here, you score. Because Tolu could have taken that.
Because he already scored. Your turn.
Right. Yeah. He's like, you score. And he started to run away. I was like, no. But he turned around, went up, got the basket. So that was cool to see. And to grab a board as well. So he was also the first one. He was in. He came in with Jones, and then Tolu didn't come in until, because I thought Tolu would be the first one off the bench when Reed fouled out, but they actually called in Bobi when Reed fouled out, and then they just threw in anyone else after that timeout. But just happy to see him get a basket and a rebound.
And no turnovers, boss.
And no turnovers. I did notice that. It totally had hit the one, but they went out there with effort. It was a hard 2.5 minutes for the Pelicans.
You could tell they played together.
Yes,
that's the thing. Like all they were missing was Daniss out there.
Yeah, it was fun to see
like
Ron
running with him. That was cool.
That's why I was like, why Ron? It's just because it could have been really anyone else, but Ron was out there facilitating too. It was pretty fun. Yeah.
Chris said, "Bobby," in my Whitney Houston voice, but that reminds me of one of those Medea movies when they were acting like like Whitney Houston was there for Bobby Brown court case, and all you hear in the background, Bobby, I love you. Sit down, Miss Houston. You probably know what I'm talking about, bro. But guys, that's all we have, man. For tonight's show, we appreciate you guys showing up. The Pistons get a dub, number 53, which is great to get off the snide. Not really a snide, just lost the game. After winning 4 straight, they lost the game.
By 1 in overtime.
Right, by 1 point. Back in the win column, which is a great sign, man. So guys, the Pistons resume play on Saturday when they travel to Minnesota to do battle with the Timberwolves. And like the Pistons, at least as of right now, I believe the Wolves are also without their star guard. I think Ant-Man is still out as of right now with knee inflammation. And there is a possibility, though, that he could play in that game Saturday, but no confirmation as of yet from what I have seen. Boss, quickly, what are your thoughts on this matchup against the Timberwolves this coming Saturday?
I just don't have much. The Timberwolves have kind of been up and down with their play lately. They've won without Anthony Edwards. They've lost without him. They were losing before he went out. It's I don't really know where to put my finger on them. And since we haven't played them yet, I kind of have no idea. I saw them play against the Nuggets on Christmas Day, though. But Anthony Edwards ended up getting ejected. But it's going to be a physical game. They're 0.5 games in front of the Rockets and 0.5 games behind the Nuggets. Like they have something to work for. So they they're not the deepest, but they are deep. They're deep in the fact that they've had the same team for a few years now. They've been able to get to the playoffs. They've been able to do well. So these guys have played together. So even if they don't have or Jaden McDaniels, I heard got injured. They didn't have Desumu yesterday, who's been really good for them. They can still have guys just like really just show up and pop off.
Yeah, for sure.
I think it's going to be a very interesting battle between Gobert and Duren because those are both guys that are scoring centers basically. Obviously, good on defense. Gobert has won the DPOY 4 times, which I don't agree with, but give it to him twice, I guess.
Don't even get me started, bro.
I know, but so that will be interesting. I really do hope that Duren runs him over, but it does Saturday would be a good. I hope that if not. We probably won't see Stu this Saturday, but we see the Timberwolves again in a few games, and I hope Stu's back for that because they're another team that I would utilize a 2 big lineup off because they have Naz Reid usually come in at like the 4 with Gobert.
Which I understood what you were saying the other night, by the way. I was having a blind moment. My bad.
I was in a snappy mood already.
No. You were right though. Go ahead.
But it'll be still a test. Julius Randle is great in the mid-range.
Yep.
Dante DiVincenzo really just turns it on. He averages like 4 threes a game. So
you can hoop, man.
So it'll be interesting to see. I don't really know because the lineups keep throwing me off. I don't know who's going to be in and who's going to be out on either team.
Exactly.
So all I can say is whatever happens, I hope then we'll have a better idea for what happens in a few games from now. It'll be fun. I do want Coach Hart was saying, it would be fun to see Ant play. Ant versus Jenkins would be a show.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it'll be a game. I do think we can beat them based on how I've seen them play. But they do have some guys that can really come in clutch. I don't think they don't move the ball as much as we do. I think if I was JB, I would focus on moving the ball.
Mm-hmm.
And then, which again, if you got a guy like JD in there going at Gobert and scoring or getting Gobert in foul trouble, but also going in there and again outletting to a perimeter shooter who's getting the shots, then we win the game. That's how I feel against a team like the Timberwolves.
I definitely agree with that. Yeah, it's going to be an interesting watch. For me, aside from the actual game, I have my eye on the standings because as of right now, because you guys know we have that potential pick swap with the Minnesota Timberwolves, and as of right now, so basically with the pick swap, if it falls, it's 1 through 19 protected. So if it falls to 19, if it goes right now, I think it's at 21. If it falls to 19. The pick goes back to the Timberwolves. As of right now, the Wolves have the 9th best record in the NBA. So out of 30 teams, that puts them at 30 or 21. So that's about as good as we can get. The best you can get is 20th, right? So as of right now, they're 9th in the NBA, which means we would have the pick as of today. If it was today, the season into today, we get their pick and we would have the 21st pick, which is good. But I think that's great because as of right now, 10th is the Rockets. They're a game and a half behind the Wolves. And after them is the Atlanta Hawks, who are like 4.5 games back. So they're probably not going to drop to 11th overall, which means they're not going to drop to the 19th pick, which means we should be able to retain it. Right. So we're in a good spot in a nutshell as of right now to be able to get that pick swap, which is going to be in 10 spots or not even 10, maybe like 7 spots. Because as of right now, we're 3rd best in the league. So today, if we didn't have that pick swap, we would be picking 28th. So to go from 28th to 21st, that's 7 spots. That's important as far as where you're drafting, as far as trade capital. If you don't want to keep it, those 7 spots is a big deal. So I think we're in a good position to be able to get that pick.
I just want to clarify this real quick. Gobert scoring center, scoring at the rim, just scoring close to the rim is what I mean. He's a good finisher. He taps it in. He can get that's where he gets his baskets. Offense right under the rim, which is where we need JD to be too. So
for sure.
And I checked real quick. Right now it says Dosunmu is day to day. There's nothing else added, but I don't think they've that could definitely change. I just don't think that they've added JD McDaniels because they haven't had to.
Yeah.
But it says Edwards will be evaluated daily and has a chance to play in Saturday's game against Detroit or Monday's game against the Mavericks, and that's from Sham. So a chance is where we're at right now. We'll probably know more basically at the Saturday morning. It's an earlier game. It's a 5:30.
It's an early game. So it should be interesting, guys. He said maybe we could get Yaxel. That'd be crazy. That would be crazy if the pick swap turned into that. But you never know. You never know, man. So we'll see, guys. Love, peace, and hair. All right, guys. We're gonna end it there, man. We appreciate you guys showing up as you guys always do, man. It's been another great show. It's always great to top it off with a dub. So guys, make sure you smash that like button and subscribe if you are new. And as always, we hope you guys have a great night. Be safe. Enjoy the beginning of your weekend. And y'all know the drill, man. Detroit versus everybody. See y'all Saturday.
All the dirty work, all dog. I'ma dive on the floor, go try to block every shot. And I'ma be physical with you the whole game. You know Stu gonna be physical with you. When you think of the Pistons, you think it's just hard work and just gritty basketball. That's just the identity you gotta have when you put on that jersey.
I'm not your average breed of canine. Not a good dog, I'm bad boy for life. I set the tone, don't care about no tick. Let it be known, I get my respect. Come in the lane and see I don't bluff. If you retaliate, that's on ya. Talking pundits, I hear you're ashamed. Talking that chop, you must want this way. If the dog palm, mess around, find out, If the dog palm, mess around, find out, For some barbecue sauce, boy, you better crop a hill, cause I'm like that. for some barbecue sauce. Boy, you better come for help, cause I'm like that. Mess around